little teaser for you guys, you know, a little double trouble intro to the show tonight. This is show 23 of Gray Area Live. I'm Rex Jones with Tim here, Tim Tompkins.
How we doing, guys?
Yeah, how are y'all doing tonight? And we're going to check in with the comments here in a section.
It's pulled up.
In a section.
What? It's pulled up.
Okay,
I got 'em.
all right.
Here you go.
Perfect. Well, guys, we're going to pull up the comments in a second, which is what I was trying to say before I stopped figuring out there for a second. We're going to see what you guys have to say, but we've got a fun show. You know, Tim came here today and he's like, man, you know what? I haven't really looked at the news in a few days. And I was like, oh, man, like there's a lot that's gone on.
I'm like Jordan with the flu tonight, guys.
Yeah, you've been a little under the weather. Tell them
Mind
about
me
that
if
really quick.
mind me if I'm a little bit a little quiet today, but I'm still gonna keep my energy up as much as possible. The show must go on. So,
And you've been feeling better, but you got like COVID-20, right?
oh man, you know, it just seems like ever since I got the vaccine, I got more and more sick is the problem.
Mm.
It's been a minute since I've been sick, luckily, but right as soon as I had the mask mandate, I got sick every single month. So I've been sick since Thursday, guys. That's why we didn't film. I woke up, I was like, "Ooh, I know what's coming." So good to have you guys on tonight, at least though. Tonight we won't be doing a guest segment or a prepared one. I'm not in the condition to do a full prepared segment. It would be like absolutely buns. So we'll save it for the next one.
It's all good because I've got a prepared segment of my very own, and we're going to be talking about supplements tonight, but very specifically, we're launching a new brand and things are available for pre-order right now. It's called Primal Core. So we have it in the header now. Then you go check out Primal Core, goprimalcore.com. And in there are the highest quality blends and then single ingredient form you could put together. And I'm really proud of this. Tim is really proud of, you know, both the deal that we're giving you because it's a great price for a great product, but we're also very happy about, you know, we think people are going to see huge results from this.
Yeah, they are. Look,
Right.
with this product, guys, and this brand, we didn't take any outside help. We built this
Right.
between us and our immediate people, and we built everything from the ground up. We didn't pay for outside people. We just basically slaved away to build the best product possible that wasn't associated with anybody. And that was the biggest thing for Rex and I. It was just like, we want to do something that's of high value. So,
and I know we have people in here, and I don't want to just try to get you informed or sell you on this immediately. We do have news and stuff to go through, but I just want to break this down really quick for you.
yeah.
So I've been selling supplements for basically my entire life that I've been conscious, like really for the past decade. And during that process, I've seen what's successful, what's not successful, what people like, what people don't like. But more importantly, I've met the big manufacturers across the country. I've talked to them. I've seen their quotes. I've seen the deals and kind of scams they try to run on people. Basically, when you talk about nutritional supplements, you'll have a guy that has some money and he wants to start a brand. And that guy, not knowing anything about the industry, will find one of these old boomers that has all these formulas and stuff under trademark. And they've gotten these trademarks by paying a college, you know, 50, 100 grand to do a study. And they'll sell that guy that's trying to start that company that doesn't know anything about it on buying a product at like 10, 12. I've seen $20 a bottle, folks.
Damn.
For like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what
stuff that would cost them like cents or pennies.
What makes us different and how we cut out the middleman, how we cut out the boomer, so to speak, and in my experience, they are boomers, folks. How we do that is, well, you know, I'm partnered with the manufacturer. I'm already selling certain, you know, supplement and supplement allied products, right? We wanted to do something purely focused on the, you know, time tested, true, not high risk, really safe, really high quality formulas, getting back to the basics of nutraceuticals. And that's how we did Primal Core.
Yeah.
It's approachable for men, women. It's approachable for all demographics, like young adult, old, you name it. And when you look at the formulas, you're going to say, wow, this is really performance based. This seems to be geared towards men. It's geared towards everyone. And if you do the research on these ingredients, what you're going to find is by doing our own manufacturing here local in Texas, by cutting out that middleman, we're able to offer you phenomenal prices and phenomenal sourcing on these ingredients. So I'm really excited about that.
I am too, man. The thing about me is, you know how I'm very conscious about what I put in my body.
Right.
And I never take anything as far as like supplements. I don't take anything that's like performance enhancers.
Right.
So when I started this brand,
when did you have your first drink?
23.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't drink for the longest, even though I was in college I was DD. So.
Pays attention to his health, this guy.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, you know what? I had a very, you got me to take Power Plant,
right.
and it took you a good minute to like actually convince me to take it,
right.
because of the fact that like I just see so many of these like artificial enhancements and all the other like bullshit that they just put in there.
Realize that it's natural and people have been doing this for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And in fact, the synthetic stuff that we're given, we're told, oh, it's amazing, it's incredible. Everyone is like 400 pounds and has diabetes and
right,
is dying.
And that was one of the non-negotiables for me too, was like, look, if we're gonna do something and I'm gonna take these products as well, it needs to be something that I would take, something that has existed for generations, that 100%. Has already been tested by millions of people before me, just like ashwagandha is one of our products.
Right.
Been around for thousands of years. That way I know I'm not the guinea pig, because after I got the COVID shot, I don't even know what's going to happen to me.
You're
20,
unhappy
25
with
years
Big
from now.
Pharma. You're a little bit upset.
I am very upset.
Right.
So, you know, that's my standpoint on it, but we will get into more of that later.
Yes, we're going to cover that later. Just wanted to give you all a quick intro. And if you want to check out the site, it's goprimalcore.com. And just really quick, before we start our news presentation for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the website here. So you can check this out here. Ooh, look, isn't that nice?
Add to stage.
Oh, isn't that nice? I fail again.
That was on me.
All right, we're going to cut back to the main screen. All right. How do I do it?
I got you.
Little technical difficulties there, guys. But the point is, we love it so much. We're super excited to show it to you, and we think you're really going to be happy with it. I mean, check this out, guys. Isn't that clean?
Built this whole thing, guys.
We built this whole thing. We got it ready for y'all, and we really have phenomenal deals on there, especially for the email list and whatnot. So you're definitely going to want to check this out and get involved with it if you're interested. But we're going to circle back to that. We're going to get into the news now. Have you seen Trump going to the White House and meeting with Mamdani?
I did catch this video. It was very awkward for me to watch this.
Right.
It's like two people you could see really hate each other, but they have to smile for the cameras, and they're like,
I see it the other way. I thought, I
think they're playing politics, man.
Well, I agree with you, but I found it very charming. And Trump's like, this is all bullshit. Like, I'm on the list, you're on some other list too. It's okay. And Mamdani is just he's cheesing, which is what he always does.
The reporter asked that question. He's like, go ahead, you can say it.
Right.
You know you believe that about me.
Right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and watch
let's watch this. This is a full interview, so we'll kind of jump around here, but I expect it'll be exciting pretty much from, moment one. So let's go ahead and watch this, guys.
Meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this.
I told he was showing up.
Oh, no. My dad's talking under it. I didn't realize it when I grabbed the clip. All right, you want to watch it a little bit?
We'll see.
Watch 5 minutes of it.
But two, I guess he got snuck in the back. This is bizarre. Let's go back to it. Here we go.
The mayor, he really ran an incredible race against, a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong.
So even the media got confused. Housing and getting housing. I figured this out now. Yeah, they thought they were waiting at 2 for him to arrive. He got stuck in the back because Trump wanted to meet with him first. And then now 30. Okay, so he didn't show up late. They decided to have a meeting before Trump decided what he was going to do.
Okay. All right, guys. Sorry for the unprofessionalism. I actually have a ton of news for y'all tonight. But apparently that's one bad apple out of the bunch, and it's funny and fine to have my dad react to him. But
he interrupts just a little.
Yeah, we were looking for clips. So let's see if I can find another one really quick here. What do you think about it? You said it's all politics. I agree, but I think that they're having fun with it.
I think here's the thing: Trump is just living on a whole nother like wavelength as everybody else, as far as like he's just playing on GTA, just doing whatever he wants.
Right, I agree.
And for him, it's actually it is a game. Life is a game for him at this point with the amount of power that he has. You just see the interview. Like, look, love him or hate him, he's pretty funny. And he just does not care at the end of the day. And Mamdani, I feel like he has to definitely save face because, I don't even know. Did Eric Adams even fucking go to the White House like this?
No.
I was about to say, like, this is not normal. And I think
actually, you know what? I think they did meet with him. They essentially turned him into their like crony or whatever.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like as soon as Eric Adams, like I don't think it's normal for a mayor to go to the White House after getting elected like this. And I could be wrong, but
all right, I'm gonna stop trying because I rolled a gutter ball on this one. Apparently, the only full clip of him in the Oval Office is him talking to my dad. Excuse me. My dad talking over.
No, I'll find it. Keep going.
Okay, Tim's going to look for it. But we've got, a lot of strange behavior from Trump nowadays. He tweets all these things about Mamdani, and then it's all a big club thing, and they meet at the Oval Office and get the photo op. Trump also did this. I'm sure everyone's seen this. President Trump has posted an image labeling himself King Trump, depicting Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer alongside several Democrats. So he's in like Warhammer 40K Emperor armor, and then he's got Chucky Schumer. I think that's Pelosi, maybe someone else. And then I think that's Adam Schiff. Look, I mean, this is the type of thing that keeps the base excited at this point. I guess this is the only thing that he has to offer. Yeah. It's like, funny, cool meme, like him dumping on someone. And I'm not here to just criticize Trump and just say that he shouldn't meme or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're going to look back at this time period as like the president behaved this way. Like the president actually did these things.
Like I said, GTA mode, bro. He don't care.
I'm not particularly happy with it anymore. It's just worn out its welcome. And then my main issue with it is not that he does it, but when you criticize Trump or when you try to talk to someone about him that's like a real dyed-in-the-wool supporter, they will often reference the memes and the funny stuff as like deliverables.
Right.
Like stuff that he's done. It's like, but he roasting the Democrats. And it's like, well, what does that mean?
He's hilarious. Like, that's what it is. That's fun for them.
I mean,
he's entertaining. That's why they like him.
I guess, but we're running out of time for entertainment, man. And at the end of the day, here, let's you DM'd it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. This is the full segment, guys. Pull this up.
All right, we've got Trump and Mamdani now. We got it figured out.
We can definitely.
It's fine. Just give it to me. I'll do it.
You can definitely click around.
I got it.
All right. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's all good. All right, we've got Trump and Mamdani now. Going into the theme of Trump doing whatever he wants. Let's go ahead and watch this.
We've just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well. And I wanted to congratulate the mayor. He really ran an incredible race against a lot of smart people, starting with the early primaries against some very tough people, very smart people. And he beat them easily. And I congratulated him. And we talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. That anything I do is going
to like all he does is greatest hits. It's all he does is he talk prices are lower, blah blah blah. And
oil is the gases did come down under him.
Okay,
I'll give him that win.
All right, hallelujah, the gas came down.
It's really good for New York. If I can get prices down, it's good for New York, and we've got them down, way down from last year. We have, as you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good.
Okay, that's confirmed bullshit.
There's no way.
I watched Due Dissidents do an entire breakdown of this, and basically the way they did it is it's the same way they rigged the CPI, where they just like remove or swap items.
Yeah, but it only works so long before people catch on, because remember, they have to adjust the jobs report every single time.
That is outrageous. That is outrageous. Will you look that up on your phone?
No, Walmart definitely came out with statements from before. Do you want me to look up?
I think they remove. I think what I saw on Due Dissidents, I think it was 50% less food, and then it was like 25% cheaper because they removed half the food.
Oh, what?
And that's what I saw on Due Dissidents, and I could be wrong, so we want to double check and make sure. But like, we're just trying to laugh at the Zoran Trump interview and find funny moments. But every time you see Donald, all the president does is refer to how great the economy is going. And I'm tired of this because the economy is not going great. Stuff is super expensive. And we talk about this every show. We do breakdowns on monetary policy. We do breakdowns on inflation. We do breakdowns on price increases. Tim's done a lot of them. If you want to rewatch, it's a great area.
Okay, so they're saying Walmart's 2025 Thanksgiving meal basket, which is something that they create, is about 25% cheaper. However, this does not include the exact same items or quantities as the prior year, as many of the items were removed or downsized. The price drop is thus largely driven by smaller or altered product set. That is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Not by the wholesale prices per item.
Right.
So yeah, you're right about that. But it's so easy to just say, well it's cheaper.
All you need as a political figure is the soundbite. It's just like people only read headlines, right? Like they don't actually read the article.
That's so true.
It's the same thing.
Good for everybody. But I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream
Didn't he
come
threaten to
true.
send the fucking National Guard in?
New York.
Yeah, he did.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No, it's all fake. All the anger, the rage. And like, here's something. I'm critical of like some of your views, right, on like some pro-immigration stuff and whatnot. There's stuff that we disagree on.
Yeah.
This idea that we're going to have another crusade, right? They have the idea that they're going to have a crusade and they're going to return to the Middle East and all this. It's like this like Christian idea, I guess, sort of. That is just as ridiculous as this, in my opinion. Like the fact that people actually they think that Trump hates Mamdani so much because Trump winds him up and says that he hates Mamdani in tweets, but then you see them all together and then it's all fine.
I think his real opinion is the one that he initially showed. People always show you your cards the first time normally, guys.
Right, but
I think this is just he's in. You got to play ball now. And he's doing the same play.
He glazed him. What?
Okay, he also terrorist too, but you gotta you gotta play the game.
I just had another one of these guys. I just had another one of these guys. I mean, it's the beard in there. It's the thing, right?
I can't really tell.
That's funny.
But here's the thing: like, you gotta understand, he created an entire book called "The Art of the Deal." Go read the book.
Didn't someone else write it or something?
I'm sure it has some of his input. A lot of these books are also
Trump was the first to discover AI.
But here's the thing. He wrote The Art of the Deal, or his ghostwriter wrote The Art of the Deal. But at the end of the day, he's trying to play chess at this point, not checkers. And this is part of his plan. You basically butter them up, and then you come with the carrot, and then he's going to come with a stick if he doesn't do what he wants. I think it's at a point where they're like, oh, hey, man, you won. Welcome to the big team, eh? And then like they're like, okay, so we're going to have fake beef in a year, and then we might send the cops, we might not. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm going to get my funding, right? Like, yeah, you're going to get your funding as long as you do X, Y, and Z for us. He's like, I don't really want to do Z. Oh, have you seen this blackmail we have on you? And then like that's how it goes.
Like Eric Adams had corruption charges, and he basically
but that only fled
to the.
Do you know that only came after the fact that when he started pushing back on the immigration stuff?
Yeah, no, of course.
That's the only time that they started saying stuff about
stick that you talk about. I agree.
Please. I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president. I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you, and then also one for Mayor.
Sure.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works.
Mamdani said he was going to arrest.
Yes, Mamdani stated that if he was the New York mayor, that he would order the NYPD to arrest Netanyahu if he came.
How did I miss that? What the?
I mean, it was all like there's wars
all
and
right,
stuff.
well, then that
makes sense to you.
Clearly, this is fake. Look at this.
It's all, it's all complete bullshit. And I'm so over it here. We're gonna watch more of it. I'm just gonna cut back to us for a second. Like seriously, if you think about it, think about all the times you've been like upset or outraged, not like an actual thing happening like COVID or hurricane or something like that, right? But like, oh, like they're doing this, the other side is doing this, and I'm angry and I don't like it, and I think that they're crazy. It's literally a show. It's literally a TV
we're
show.
watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians in real time here, guys.
Like this should be like two magnets where they can't be together. You know, like that's what this should be like. Like they should. Zoran Mamdani, if he gets within like 10 miles of Trump, should be like repelled by an invisible force. if the beef was real, if this is really a game of like factions, you know, and whatnot.
It's true.
And it is a game of factions, and it's two factions. It's the people, and then it's the people in the system, like literally just running the whole thing.
Mamdani I guarantee you, all these people that voted for him, watch by the end of this term how unpopular he's going to be. I mark my words. This guy, the people that voted him in, are going to turn on him at some point for something that he did and broke the system.
How do the New York voters feel about Mamdani, you know, going and meeting with Trump? Like wouldn't that,
how dare he?
Right. Well, I mean like if you're a drag queen, you vote for Mamdani, which a lot of them did. Like he went and campaigned with them, and then you see him in the Oval Office with Trump, and like Trump doesn't even hate gay people or anything like that. So I guess it's just a bad example, just a super liberal person I'm thinking of, then being like, he betrayed us all. And it's just like, well, he's a politician. Like, did you trust the smile where he goes like this? He goes like,
well, look at the smile there.
Yeah.
Does that look real to you?
No. Well, I mean, it's not. He's kind of scowling here, but we'll watch.
Sure. He's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. Changed a lot from when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great.
You ever see any of those body language channels where they draw a line between the person? If the line is like off, like if the person is tilted, they're like the beta in the situation.
Yeah.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you, some of my views have changed. And I fully support communism. I mean, it's not that bad. Well, he literally said Mamdani is the equivalent to the devil, basically, on social media.
Yeah, he did.
We had discussions on some things. I'm not going to
I
discuss.
can't believe I gave you $50, Trump. I can't.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he's going to be. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise.
Yeah, he's going to surprise them all right.
And Mr. Mamdani, it sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare, accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and I, we are very clear about our positions and our views. And what I really appreciate about the president is the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting. Maybe I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Mr. President, Matt Shah from MTG Lebanon.
Good.
I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding you said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. Yeah. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, guys, what do you say for the Middle East today? It's the independent state of Lebanon. And what is your next move to push toward disarmament?
Sure. Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just.
All right. So we make up lies. we make up lies. We bring the guy from the other team in to stand behind.
We have peace in the Middle East. That's a new one. That is a new one.
Yeah, Netanyahu illegally touched down in Lebanon, and like they're plotting and they're planning on taking sections of Lebanon, Syria. The killings have continued in Syria. The killings have continued in Gaza as well, for that matter. Like we stopped it. We stopped it all. It's not on your social media feeds anymore. We had Elon change the algorithm. That we still know what's going on. We still know people are dying. And I look. You know what? Hey, maybe he's right and we're all wrong. Wouldn't that be a nicer world to just trust Trump as the supreme leader?
It would be
right. And it hurts me because it feels like the liberals were right at the end of the day.
Ooh, dangerous.
I think so.
We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion. We have now over $20 trillion coming into it.
All bullshit. All like 10, 20-year deals where they promise us money that'll never arrive. It'll never happen. all investments in building plants and centers that never actually get made. It's just all for the headline. And talking about what we were talking about like 10 minutes before, it is literally all about the headline. That is what politics is, because people don't read beyond the headline.
Yeah, one of the things that was happening, especially during the tariffs, and I never did a deep dive on this, but
talk about it.
Like you saw, like he was talking about investments. So like, for example, one of the countries that promised investment was like Japan, right? Japan said, okay, well, we're going to promise an investment of like 500 billion or something like that. But then of that, 90% of that was actually loans.
Right.
So that's loans that the US government would take as investment, but you're actually taking a loan. So you're owing them money and you're paying them interest. So they're actually, you're investing in them technically. And then like only like 10% of that was like, and the numbers are slightly off, but only 10% of that was like money that would have actually gone into the system. It was just and it wasn't even guaranteed loans. They were the promises of a loan.
Right.
So that's the kind of like antics that you get. And same thing with the EU. The EU ones, they said, well, we're going to have billions of dollars invested in the United States, but of those billions of dollars, it's coming from the corporations. But technically, legally, the EU cannot dictate their private corporations to make the investments. They're just mainly just like, okay, we're going to promise that we will, but there's no guarantee of them actually going and putting their money in the United States because they can't legally force them to. So yeah, that's you are correct on some of that stuff.
Okay, well, we've got another social media post, tweet, truth, whatever you want to call it. I think it is actually from True Social. The Republican Party has never been so united as it is right now. Other than Rand Paul Jr., Massey, Marjorie, Trader Brown. And like, this is the thing. His brain is starting to go bad because the nicknames he's pretty good.
Brown.
He's calling her. You know why he's calling her Brown?
Yeah, because of the Hispanic thing or what?
No, she's not Hispanic. She's white.
No, I know, but just like something Hispanic.
No, it's not racial related.
What is it?
Because when grass like goes bad, it turns brown.
Oh,
it's not even good.
He's creative, huh?
No, it's stupid.
Rod DeSantis.
No, but that's funny. This is like dumb. It is. Whatever. Marjorie, Trader Brown. You get to pick Trader or Brown. You can't do both. And a couple of other lowlifes. And other than the fact that many want the election threatening filibuster terminated, the Democrats will do it the first minute of their first chance, and some don't. There is great spirit and cohesion. He writes like it brain bad, dude.
It's ChatGPT a little.
Plus, no, this is real. Plus, the Republican Party is much bigger than it was when I announced in 2015 or ever was before. He's taking credit for that. Many millions more members. We now have the strongest border ever, biggest tax cuts, best economy. Every time you get the same shit. But in here, you see he's also slandering Marjorie Taylor Greene. And this comes from today, right? And you know what's significant about that is that this video, I think it came out yesterday or the day before.
This is sad.
Yeah, MTG has announced that she's going to resign, folks. And I'm sure everyone
fell to the pressure, man.
Yeah, I disagree. I think she's making the right move for now. Everyone on the internet already knows about this, so I'm not going to explain it at length. But you know, she's stepping aside. As of like January next year, she's gone, and she has said that she is not going to run for president. And people like Laura Loomer, other people on the right have made the claim that she's going to run for president, and that the reason why she attacked Trump or whatever, attacking Trump is just speaking normally and not like praising the dear leader.
Yeah.
But the reason why she attacked Trump is because Trump wouldn't endorse her for governor or for senator. So she went against him apparently for that reason. I don't buy that at all. But let's watch the clip now.
Does she explain her reasoning in this?
I believe that she does. So. We're gonna watch it now.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives.
I like her a lot.
Which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C. and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher. Corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives.
During the she makes a point there, and I know you got something to say. I'll make it quick. Yes, it does seem like they switch up and they campaign more during election season, but they don't even campaign to the people anymore, to the own party. And that, like,
that's a analysis,
right? Haven't you?
Yeah,
because it's
you're right.
You see these people and they go to the big in the world and they say the craziest thing, and to an average voter, you'd be like, hell no, I would never support this policy this person's advocating for. But then everyone at the rally, all the elites, people with the money that fund the campaigns, they love it. They love it, and that's the thing that she never did that.
That is an excellent point. I will say, I think that was
like, if you think about that for a second, you'll realize how true it is. And it's real, like Chinese Communist Party, Soviet Union stuff, where like you're all in the room and you have to appease like the party chairman or the leader or whatever. That's what it's turned into now. The Democrats, they don't really exist politically anymore, but they're going to reform based on how sycophantic things have become.
The little, like, they're Smeagol in the corner of the room, just like crawling, waiting for their chance.
Yeah, no, they're going to get the meat.
Yeah. So here's my take on this one.
Right.
With her, I know you like her a lot. I have a 50-50 split on her. I like what she's doing more recently, but I think she was a little too radical for me on certain points. She's very much so that Georgia Southern true and red. Huh?
You got bias against people from the South.
No, but like she hates immigrants. Like she just hates them all. Like she's one of those people that's like, get rid of the H-1B altogether.
That's a big issue for you.
Like she's just.
See, I agree. I agree with her.
She's very extreme when it comes to it. I like the people who have like a little more nuance to see like, okay, let's do these things here and then we'll do here. She's like, nah, let's just do it all.
Here's the thing. I was just thinking about this because I was trying to craft a retort to you, but then it occurred to me in my head and I was like, oh, this is an interesting thought experiment. I was about to say I would vote for a Democratic Socialist or a socialist if they were anti-war. And I was like, does a person like that already exist? No, the Democrats, they're quiet about it, but they love the war. All of them, even the most radical of them. Bernie,
they were giving the money to Ukraine.
Bernie has done some signaling on the Israel thing. But then, I watched this Tim Dillon episode, and he's like, the killing of innocent civilians is never okay, and the war crimes, blah, blah, blah. But he goes, and then Ukraine is our greatest ally in Europe, and we must support them against Russia. Russia's military has been degraded, and you're like, you don't get to pick and choose because obviously, you're signaling to your base that you're pro-Palestine because it's important for your political power. But then when it comes to war and it comes to people killed, a lot more people have been killed by factors. People have been killed in Ukraine that have been killed in the Middle East recently.
One other thing about her, not just the immigration stuff. She's also part of the swamp who does inside trading. And the thing about that is, and you know what? I promise you guys, I will do a deep dive on this. I'm gonna show you guys all of the insider trading that both the Democratic,
She's worth a ton of money now. I thought it was like 40 million.
Democrats and Republicans. She's one of these people. She sold. She bought stocks of Lockheed Martin right before the Ukraine war happened.
Wow, that makes me like her a lot less. But hey, look at these people, and no one's perfect. Right?
And
I'll take it.
Let me not get sued for defamation, and I will confirm
yes,
that.
I'm calling the lawyers now. It's all over. The show, we had a good run, but like, here's the thing. It's crazy for someone like her to retire like this, but it's also not. This strikes me as very political. Watching it, this is extremely political. And she says she's not going to run for president. She didn't use the word promise. I saw the tweet where she did it. I don't think we have that to pull up, but she may reference it in the video. She said she wouldn't run for president, but she didn't promise in there. And she could easily say, "Oh, I changed my mind." Whatever. I don't know.
She wouldn't win. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't.
She's not gonna get that silent majority.
Party.
But she's gonna get the Republicans. But she's too right to get the people in the center like me.
Yeah, but I mean, who do they? It depends who they run her against, man. I mean, if it's AOC.
Ooh, God, don't put her there,
I 100%. I see what you're saying, Mark Kelly.
They'll put Gavin before her.
I see Gavin Newsom would probably kill MTG. I don't disagree with that. And we've seen like
he'd walk the floor.
We've seen women versus men. It's a bad matchup.
Who?
It's a bad matchup. Woman versus man in the presidential.
It always is.
Yeah,
it always is.
It seems to be a bad matchup, but maybe it'd be different without Trump. And when we have that post-Trump era,
she's not popular enough yet. Like, okay. Not a lot of people know her.
I'm going to go back to the video.
Down in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster.
They'll work.
But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas just sit. They all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer.
Why is she supposed to make the money?
Dude, I just looked. I wasn't lying. She 2 days before Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion, she bought Lockheed Martin stock. She's part of the swamp, man. She's part of the swamp.
I mean, they're all part of the swamp. And we talked about what the swamp is money, right? But at the same time, like, she's not as implicated as some of these other parties.
Yeah, I mean, there's nuances. I don't know.
She made money, and it was immoral the way she made money, and she shouldn't have made the money that way. But at the same time, is she breaking the law? No.
Oh, you're
scanning.
All right, explain how stupid that is for the audience. Very important. That's a high-level thought experiment. Is what you just saw. Explain how it's illegal,
dude. That's literally the definition of insider trading. They're part of committees. They're all part of committees where they're privy to information. If you know that a stock is going to move before it moves, the only way you can know that is if you have had those conversations. It's a free market, and the only way the free market works is if everybody has access to the same information and is trading on equal playing fields. That's the whole reason why in 2012. They passed the bill to require these Congress people to disclose their trades.
Interesting.
That's the exact reason, because there were people making buku money off of this crazy amount of things that were happening. In the 90s, it was even worse. During like the downturn, it was like these politicians were like beating what's his name? Warren Buffett. Some people had upwards of 25% gains, whereas Warren Buffett was only beating the market like 2.5%
totally
of the time.
Organic. Yeah, I see your point now, and that's why we do the interesting thought experiment on the gray area. I definitely did not know that. That's why we do that.
No, I'll do a deep dive on
a high level thought experiment for those
easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media, obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points.
Yes.
Because they know how much credit card debt they have. They know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their Visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are, common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. The district is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet.
She's reading off
good, regular, common Americans.
I mean, yeah,
I've worked hard
probably.
to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs.
I mean, you got
I
it, though.
impeached Biden's
She's a
Secretary of
politician.
Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America.
Peace.
And I led the effort to defund hard left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID. And I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power.
She did.
I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob.
Okay. T-Blitz says, okay, that's enough. He says that's enough.
Oh, no, scroll up. New Gripper had a very hot take here.
You read that one.
He said, her giving up when she finally feels pressure is another example of why women don't belong in politics.
I mean,
that's wild.
I mean, look, it makes sense for her, right? Like
that's wild.
I'm sure she's gotten a ton of death threats. I'm sure she's gotten actually beyond that a ton of credible threats on her life. It can't be an easy position to be Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's still signaling for politics. I don't think she's done. What do you think?
I think there's a cost benefit analysis that everybody does in their head. She's already gone in. She's been in there for a minute. She's made her money, as we've seen.
Right.
And at the certain point at which like you see things are not going to change, it's the same reason why I feel like Elon got out of the business. He just sees that the system is so messed up that it's just like, you might as well just go find other ways to do things.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, look, don't talk bad about criminal mommy. Okay. No, I don't want to hear any, I don't hear any slander of criminal mommy. I don't want to hear any degradation. She's a sweet lady that made 40 million to help America. Okay. So like, look, here's the thing. I'm poking fun. I get it. Look, they're all corrupt. I still like her though. Okay. I'm allowed to pick because all the politicians are corrupt and most of them evil, not all, but most. I'm allowed to pick the ones that I like.
Now here,
it's like fantasy football.
It is like fantasy football, but you chose the QB that pumped the air into the ball.
Hey, you know, that was never proven.
But here's the thing. This is why I love the gray area, guys, because I've moved from the left to the center, and then I moved a little right, and then things went crazy, and I went like, all right, we're clearly truly center. So I call everybody out on their bullshit, and I bring the facts.
And now that you've, as a smart person with a good brain, now that you've become like really, because of the show and other things, like really politically aware, like checking the news and whatnot, you're like, like all these positions kind of suck.
Yeah.
And that's what I've realized.
And that is why I'll continue like in the middle of the segment, just like you were like, well, she's done everything good. I had to point that out because it wouldn't be the gray area if she didn't get some shade too.
Right.
You know? So at the end of the day, like I'm going to keep preaching this, and I'm going to expose everybody's laundry for all of you guys to be well informed. Cause there may be other politicians, whether you're right or left, that you're like, man, I really like that person, but then you didn't really realize some of the things that they've done behind closed doors that they haven't shown.
It's the money, right? It's the vast sums of money, and they act like they're broke, and they act like their job is so hard that they sit in a building and they read paper and they talk. It's like high school. or something.
Well, here's the thing about it. I know you have to have a certain level of integrity, but I think what goes through some of these people's heads is like, okay, you went to the school, this high school full of these people, and then you just like went in there with good intentions. Then you saw it was so bad that you like couldn't change things. And it's like, if you can't beat them, you join them at that point, because it's like, you might be ethical that entire time. And this shows human nature too. She might have been ethical going in there and been like, okay, these are the things I have. But then, you know, the Republican guy or the Democratic guy, he's just like making some money on the side, gaming the system. And then you're just out here struggling just by regular means. And then you're just like, fuck it, I might as well.
Will you ask ChatGPT or look it up what her net worth was before
Congress?
Yeah, before Congress.
Ooh,
I just think that would be interesting for the viewers and listeners. But real quick, while you do that, we got the reaction from Loomer. All right. Now, Loomer is like a D1 first round draft pick hater. All right. No one hates more viciously. No one hates. She hates everybody. But here's what she had to say. And it's actually not sad to stick up for yourself when you were lied about by an elected official, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who went out of her way to plan a hit piece against me to kill off an employment offer given to me. So she didn't get a job, according to her, and she blames it on MTG. She lied about me and falsely accused me of having a mental illness. If you ask Grok about Laura Loomer, it'll tell you she's been 5150 like twice.
Holy shit, dude. You asked me to look this up before we get into
what
this.
Yeah.
Her net worth in 2021 was only about 700K. Now her net worth is somewhere between like 22 to 25 million.
What is that, like 25x basically? Like 30x?
Dude, what is
30x? Yeah, ask what the multiplier is. But here's what Loomer says. So yes, I hate her. Yes, I hope she is destined for hell. I mean, who thinks that about anybody? Like, that's the worst thing you could think about a person. Yes, I wish her the worst. Yes, I'm happy she had a hard time. Yes, I feel this. Yes, I had every right to feel that way. This is why you don't date that folks. This is why you don't do it. Why don't you ever call her out? You think it's what she did to me out of spite? You are a hypocrite. I see these people preach only go one way. I mean, dude, like, it's so hateful. So hateful. I mean, she's retiring from the field. She's on the right. They've been aligned on a lot of different issues over the years. I mean, Loomer's not a young political actor, and neither is MTG. They've been around for like 2 election cycles, basically. And, you know, like, this is a crazy person. This is a person with borderline personality disorder. Like, lenience.
No, it goes back to your original point. It sounds crazy to background licking the slop up out of this stuff and like, oh, good girl, you're doing the right thing.
I guess so. I mean, she does it for love of the game. I don't think anyone needs to tell Loomer what to do. Like, she's just focused on target, but she is glad or hopes that she's destined for hell.
By the way, that multiplier 30 to 35 times her net
30 to 35
in
times
4 years. In 4 years, guys, that's mathematically impossible to do on your own unless you have some crazy business.
You know what an interesting statistic to be or to get would be? It would be to find out what the average increase on net worth is.
Damn.
That's a good one,
That's
right?
a good
and that's
one.
Probably like a
I'm gonna
prompt.
do that. I'm actually gonna do that for the segment. Oh my
That's
God.
a good one, right? We should save that. We should do a whole deep dive on their wealth.
I'm gonna do it.
Like how much money.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a phenomenal.
That's literally gonna be the next segment, guys.
Right, and not for tonight, but
not for tonight.
Weekend.
For
coming week.
I'm not be here the following Sunday.
And that's gonna be a badass segment. And
oh yes.
Just to get into it again in the second hour here, we'll go a little while longer to get through some more news. We're going to do a deep dive on Primal Core, the new supplement brand that we've started, going through the ingredients, the studies, and the information. Basically, this is such a cool thing, guys. You're going to want to stick around and see it. But we have another story, and we got Eric Swalwell. This guy was famous for dating a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. All right, and he's a congressman from California. He is one of the front runners to become the new governor after Newsom steps down, probably to run or whatever. And listen how easy he wants voting to be. You know, just phone it in. It should be like that.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every
Californian
by phone.
I mean, the arrogance. Like, what are you talking about? First off, you know, and here we'll minimize. We'll go full screen here because you know this is a racial question, and I get to ask you this question. All right, a lot of the times the liberals and the people on the left, they're against voter ID, and their reasoning for it is that Black people, people of color, minorities, poor people, they don't know how to get a driver's license.
Okay,
what's your view on this?
There is some truth to some of it. Okay, not okay. So sometimes in these communities, they lack certain like things that need to be in place in order to get the right documentation. Like I literally have a cousin that lost his social security card, and it was like a big ordeal because he didn't have he didn't know how to do it properly. And I know there's access to the information and the internet and stuff like that, but there was more hoops that he had to jump through. But long story short, there is a tiny bit of merit to that. They're not necessarily lying, but they're exaggerating the situation.
But I think the solution is to like make an ID free and to make sure everyone can get one, not to get rid of it and to have people vote by phone. Which
yeah,
is
100%.
And then they're making the argument, and they make this about like vast swaths of people. Like Biden famously said, like black people don't know how to use the internet.
Oh yeah,
like during 2020, like he literally said this. Biden said black people didn't know how to use the internet, right? So it's this liberal idea, and ultimately they're trying to skew the votes.
By phone, yeah. If we can do our taxes, do our make our healthcare appointments, make essentially.
These are the people that will sign our entire future in government away to AI. What he just said, it should all just be on the phone. It should just be one thing.
My name is Juan. I'm voting for Biden. It's like,
are you an American citizen?
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so insane.
Do your banking online. You should be able to vote by phone. Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening.
Oh, he wants that digital ID. This is actually a very deep clip. Like this is everything they want. It's just like the liberal promise, the promise of the Democratic Party has always been, we're just going to make it easier for you, man. And they build a control grid around you.
I just got to look at the bottom right and it tells me everything I need to know.
Right.
I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy. Also, as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that a person has to wait longer.
Okay, so one of their claims also is like accessibility to going to the voting polls. More often than not, some of these very poor people don't have access to the same level of transportation, and they say it's harder for them to go and vote. But I mean, we do have city buses.
I can understand that. And I can understand absentee and mail-in to a certain extent when you're talking about a rural community like that. And that's always been the case in certain cases. It's always been that way. But I mean, these people, I had a point I was going to make there, but it's just like you say, he's running for California governor. This is what he's representing himself as, a maximized democracy, blue state guy. Eric Swalwell.
Damn.
We have to be better, not just a little bit better than the other states. The DMV. I don't think Californians should have to go in person to the DMV anymore.
What?
See, it's literally like become a slug person.
That's like ultimate way for you to create fraud.
Right.
If you don't have to literally
they
show
love
my face.
Fraud is their favorite thing on earth. Like it's all, and this is the promise. This is what my dad always says, like, hey, like, why not breathe off a respirator? Like,
yeah,
I like going to physical places. I like having to go through processes and do things. Ultimately, if everything is on the phone, they can turn it off immediately. And I know they could close an office and do XYZ and whatnot, but if there are these physical institutions where people work, they employ people, he's like, yeah, I want to fire everyone at the DMV. That's what he just said.
Yeah, I mean, my fear isn't necessarily that part of like them shutting the whole system off. It's more so the fraud part. Like we're in such a techno advanced society right now that like scammers are coming up with all different types of scams.
The calls are so bad.
Oh man, dude, I'm so sick of it. Like every time I get the fucking random phone call, sometimes they don't even pick up. It's just quiet and it hangs up. Don't know what that shit's about. But the real fraud is like somebody dies, right?
Right.
You've got access to their digital ID. You can now go and pose as that person.
Correct.
So there's like, just like all those millions of people that are getting free Social Security that are like 200 years old. Well, it's very easy for you to use digital ID and just go and like forge a bunch of different stuff.
We're against digital ID. It's a control mechanism.
I think we can do that virtually. I think you can have the DMV employees do it virtually, but that's a lot of real estate.
Yeah, we're totally not going to fire him. Like he catches himself there. Like he brings up the employees.
Yeah, he had to.
Is that the most popular position?
Digitize the DMV. Digitize the DMV.
Yeah.
What a moron.
I think you should have both. That's weird to say, but I think I think like maybe that sounds stupid, but there is a case where like I would be like, sometimes I wish I had a digital ID just for the fact of convenience, because like I lost my wallet today and I freaked out because I was like
they kind of have it in there, like
the whole process I went through my head that I needed to go get a new ID and all the loops and holes it would take for me to
I waited an entire month after I went there, and I had to wait 2 weeks to get an appointment.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
That is the one thing that I'd be like, okay, either you fix the times, because that's the only reason why I never got my Texas. I was like, I'm just gonna keep New York. I'm going back and forth anyway, so I might as well keep the New York, because it took me a very long time to get the appointment, like you said, and I didn't. It was like all the way. I tried to do it in January, and it was booked out until May. And I was like, okay, well, fuck that. Like, you really want me to get an ID, then you need to make it easier for me to get one. But that would be the scenario that I would say. It's just the convenience of like knowing I could get that immediately.
Right. And it's very hard to get things like your social and whatnot. But here's the thing. Those who would give up liberty to gain security deserve neither and would lose both. I really believe in this. And every time we make things easier, we make them simpler, they get worse. So we're about to go into the supplement portion of this live stream where we're going to talk about the new brand, Primal Core. We're going to talk about the exciting supplements we have. We got 2 of them and they come in a combo pack, whatever you're interested in. We're going to get into the deep dive on all of that. But I've just got one final story, just one little thing, because, Israel, engagement.
Everybody wants to talk about Israel.
Everyone wants to talk about Israel. I'm going to spend an hour not talking about Israel because I don't want to talk about it. So, U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee reportedly held a quiet off-the-books meeting with Jonathan Pollard, the Israeli spy who spent 30 years in a U.S. prison. Later said Israel should threaten nuclear strikes on the U.S. if arms deliveries show. And in this clip, he's referencing the Yom Kippur War, right?
Hold on, that last part, what?
Yeah.
Nuclear strikes. If we don't stop, it's like.
Are you ready for this?
Oh my!
Are you ready
go ahead, man. Now you already got me.
It's hard for me to admit this. We are now feeding our enemy. I mean, this has never happened in history before, and you have to ask why. And I don't want to hear this business that it's consistent with Jewish morality. It isn't. Anybody saying that doesn't know anything about Jewish morality at all.
Well, I think also our leaders have had their necks in a vice grip by
what is that?
Other countries.
Okay, let me give you an example of that.
That makes sense.
I was criticized very heavily for opposing the ceasefire, the American imposed ceasefire in Lebanon on us. And I was told by certain people in the government, look, we didn't have choice because we were being threatened with a complete cutoff of arms. So I listened to this, and the individual telling me this said, you don't believe this, or what? I said, well, I believe that the Biden administration, as I called it, did threaten us. But I said, you're mistaken if you think there's never a choice. There was a choice. He said, well, what? Is it to have our weapons cut off? I said, no, let me bring you back to October 1973.
Here we go.
During the Yom Kippur War, when Henry Kissinger instituted an arms embargo against us. He stopped the aerial resupply of our army at that point to extract diplomatic concessions from us. And what happened? What happened was an A4 Skyhawk was parked at Tel Nof Air Base with some interesting weapons under its wings. And we told the Americans, take your eye in the sky and take a good look at the airplane that's on that runway. And the next day, the airlift started. So
I can't believe people like this exist.
They're proud of it, man. Like he's bragging about it.
I can't believe people like this exist.
And like, look how cute they play. And like they won't, like the government, they won't admit to having nuclear weapons. They say maybe we do, maybe we don't. But it's just like, yeah, like we had the jet parts and it had the nuclear weapon on it.
Look, he's not speaking for all of Israel. Let me just preface this.
But he worked for the government.
He worked for the government, but like also his opinions are his own. But like for him, he's that little kid that you just gave money to at first just to be nice. and then now he's holding it over your head and basically trying to hold you hostage. The first off, you do something like that and you throw, let's say Israel does something like this and they launch a missile at the United States, which they would never. How long do you think it takes for us to respond and literally blow up their entire, like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's not what it's about. It's a suicide cult. Like it's about going down with the ship. It's about being strong. And that's what he's talking about at the beginning of the clip. This is what he's talking about, is like people saying like, oh, it's against Jewish morality. No, it's not. Like they're saying like rise up. Like I think like the saying of the IDF is like rise and kill or something like that. Like that this is their mentality. And you want the icing on the cake, you want the cherry on top.
What is it? Trump
commuted his sentence. Biden pardoned him. So he got favors from 2 administrations. On essentially a lifetime sentence.
I'm just finding more and more reasons to just love all the decisions.
But see how important it is to vote and to support the
vote for what?
Right. Like, what are you voting for? At the end of the day, you're voting for this guy. Hey, you vote for Biden, you're voting for him to get pardoned. You're voting for Trump, you're voting for him to get commuted. Like there's nowhere you can go to vote against him.
Now, here's the thing. They should keep his ass in jail because that is he's Looney Tunes at that point.
Netanyahu met him on the tarmac in Israel.
Crazy, man.
It's beyond anything.
Here's the thing. Like I said, they would never agree to something like this. They would never even think of doing something like that today either. Like, you think Trump would tolerate that? Hell no.
Dude, I think they, like, here's the thing. I think that the American government is so compromised on so many different levels and they face so many different threats that they can't afford to mess with Israel right now. Even if we could win or figure it out.
Okay, let's take that argument, right? What are we so reliant on Israel for that we
control the Middle East? Because technically they work for us, but we're in the process of building them an empire, one that won't require us in the next. Like, this is the struggle in the Levant. It's the Wesley Clark referred down 7 countries in 5 years. They got Sudan, they got Libya, they got Iraq, they got Lebanon to a large extent, and the only ones left, I'm missing 1 or 2. Like, the only one missing is Iran.
They got Jordan too. Jordan's pretty docile.
They've installed all of these dictators, and what our policy is in the Middle East is we want no secular government. That's why we had to get rid of Gaddafi. That's why we had to get rid of Assad. That's why we get rid of all these people. Why we got rid of Saddam Hussein. Anywhere where they allow a secularist population to exist, where people of different religions coexist with each other, that cannot be tolerated.
It's so sad because before all of this bullshit, like, the support for Israel was very high, like, just across the board before the whole Gaza stuff. And like, I have a lot of people that I know are from Israel. I'm not paid by Mossad or anything like that. I'm not giving my $7,000 for saying this, but like, ultimately, again, Netanyahu does not represent the people, and the people, I know you're talking about polls and stuff and things like that, but in reality, before this whole like negative feedback loop, most people were just like, we just want a good life, essentially.
I guess so, but I am so sick of these people. And you know what? It's something I've had to deal with forever on the internet. And like, I remember it like being very young dealing with this. You know, I don't know a thing about being Jewish or what it means to be Jewish or whatever, but like my mother, and therefore me, it makes me Jewish, right? Even if I'm an 8th, even if I'm whatever, which is what I am, right? So I have that identity, right? And I have people on the right all the time, you know, message me all kinds of shit. And I don't care. It is what it is. That doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is because I had this identity forced upon me just by nature and whatnot. I have to see these people that are like the core of that identity, that represent themselves as the core of like being a Jewish person or being a Jew is being an Israeli, essentially. And that's what they've sold to people, because there are a lot of Jewish people or people of Jewish descent or heritage or ethnicity that don't support this stuff. But what Netanyahu has done very successfully over the past 20 years is he's managed to marry the identity of Israel, the state, to the Jewish people.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like.
And I find it disgusting.
There are Jews all over the entire world. It's not just the people from Israel. That's just a subset.
And this is the thing. And all they do is that they whine and they bitch about anti-Semitism all day as they go and bomb and kill more people. I know about anti-Semitism. I have people talk to me all the time. All right. So like, for someone to say, oh, you have no experience, XYZ, you don't know what it's like to be us. I probably do more than you. Like, when have you ever experienced people calling you out on this or talking shit to you about this, some made up scenario in your head when you're at the Hamptons, right? With your millions of dollars? Like, you've never received criticism on behalf of being Jewish, but these people, they have the biggest victimhood complex imaginable. And they make it their entire identity. It's all that they are.
Okay, so I want to take a macro argument to this too. I think we got the Western countries, specifically, United States, EU specifically. I think we got Israel into this mess as well.
Right.
And the thing is like, okay, Israel by large is like one of the most hated regions by most of those countries in the Middle East, even before this happened, right? So they were constantly subjected to constantly feeling like we're under bombs, we're under threat. Like, we don't know what
they did constant territorial expansion. They waged war on people.
They did
that's why they're hated.
No, I know. I know they did some of that, but that was dictated. Like, again, my macro argument was Britain did that too.
Yeah, and I get it. I think
we created this mess. The United States and the EU has created this mess. And ultimately what I'm saying is that if they didn't go and make this whole referendum and say, we're just going to arbitrarily cut up the country this way, and then you get this piece and then they get this piece. We started this.
Any state that generates the loyalty of this person and the behavior of this person and what this person does against his own native land, which I believe he is, unfortunately, an American, if you can call him that. Any state that this dude is aligned with, the dude that flexes, yeah, we had the nuclear weapons ready on the tarmac and we told them to look with their eye on the sky at the missiles on the plane. Any state where that rationale is going on, where that level of thinking is going on, that level of power trip, that's a state that I can't support.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The whole thing comes down to the minority have most of the power and they speak for the majority. It's the same thing here.
Dude, we just disagree on this, man. I pulled up the polling. Like, the Israeli population, they want to.
Yeah, but like, you don't. Here's the thing, like, and we could go in circles, but like, we don't know here in the United States what it feels like to be under constant threat. It's like, okay, the United States went into this war in Afghanistan, and you and I didn't ask when we were kids, right? To be like, yeah, we want to be involved in that. Same reason why we're saying Israel's one of these most hated countries in the world based off of these Middle Eastern countries hating them. The people who are there, not all of those people asked for them to go and make this whole mess and create all of these wars. So at the end of the day, when you have bombs constantly coming on you as just a regular schmegular citizen, you're going to freak out and you're going to be like, okay, well, my fight or flight response is going to kick in. I'm going to choose fight because I'm tired of feeling, under pressure. We don't know what it feels like to have sirens go off. And it's the same in these Middle Eastern countries too. It's Iran is doing the same thing.
I just think that they are the people that attack. And then when they get attacked, they attack a lot.
But that's what I'm saying. Iran is the same way.
It is an identity that was forged after World War II, where they have to be tough because they were oppressed. That's what it is. I have Jewish relatives. I've talked to them about this. That is what it is. That is what the identity is. So, like, there's no arguing or debate on that. And that's why they're very proud of their strength. They're very proud of their military. They flex their nuclear weapons. That's why they behave that way. And I get it. But at the end of the day, you have Israel. You have what's happening here. You have what's happening around the world. And we talk about it all. And the reason why we have to zero in on the countries that do like the most heinous stuff, which would be us and our allies, are usually the worst offenders, and then everyone else in the world is kind of just trying to get along.
Yeah.
And then we kind of go along and wreck stuff. It's hard for us to comprehend a world where us or the proxy state or our ally, where they don't control everything. Because that's been the history of the last 100 or so years, right? Every single country that we've been allied with or that's been our friend, they've kind of had the colonial power or institution or gravitas to get done whatever they wanted to get done. And we're entering into a new world where cooperation is going to have to be required.
Because here's the thing: before the U.S., who was in charge?
Right.
The British.
Right.
And the British and in America are basically two sides of the same coin.
Very true.
When it comes to colonialism and all the different things that we've done, the moment we stop having the identity politics beyond, like, again, are we not under the guise that if we can be brainwashed by our own government to believe specific systems, that an entire population in the Middle East, with Iran, they're brainwashing their people. Israel.
Right.
They're brainwashing their people, and it's all propaganda at the end of the day to enrich the people who are pushing these agendas. Netanyahu does not speak for the people.
I think he kind of does, man.
He's widely unpopular. We cannot.
Everyone says, my dad says that
he is widely unpopular.
Why has he been elected multiple times?
Dude,
why is he in office? Because he coalition XYZ.
No. He is now. I'm saying before he was somewhat popular. He got in, and then now he's at like the lowest levels of popularity since he's been elected, and he hasn't gotten kicked out because he's doing the same Ukrainian shit.
He's not unpopular because they want him to stop the killing or stop the war. He's unpopular because he didn't get all the hostages back. That's why they're mad at him.
Well, they were mad at him before that even happened. By the way, he was
of the corruption. Yes,
he was on the thin ice before that.
And my point with all this, we're going to get into supplements real quick. My point with all this is and we get into it with Trump and Mamdani and all of it. How are any of these governments seen as legitimate? How are any of them seen as legitimate?
That's what I'm saying.
It's literally like, like we made up the rules on a napkin and we're just hanging out and like we pretend to fight in front of the cameras and then we're just like, like what kind of deal are we going to make today? And that's not what people voted for. That's not why they were elected. That's not their job. Their job is to serve the American people and do what the American people elected them to do. And we're going to get into supplements. I have to reiterate this. The reason why I harp on hating on Trump, and I do it a lot, and I do it frequently, and I do it with fervor. The reason why is because it's not like a Joe Biden or a Kamala Harris where I was against their policies and they're in office, so I hate it by default. I get that. This is about I believed in this dude. I told people to vote for this dude. And every day,
gave him your $50.
Every day, me and Tim sit in here and review the latest bullshit, complete, contrived, white rabbit, out of a hat story that he comes up with to distract from his failing jobs numbers, his failing economic numbers, the ongoing wars. And we have to hear about the fucking Peace Prize. And then the Peace Prize, oh, it's so legitimate. The lady that gets it says it should go to Trump. Like, it's all... I got the award, but it should go to Trump because he's the best. It's like Dora the Explorer level plot line. Yeah. Like it really is. It's really, really, really bad.
It's bad.
And you can predict things just because of like, oh, this thing was horrible and crazy. The next thing's going to be 5 times worse. And that's all we've seen during, the last year. And that's just, I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm not trying to be black pill, but we've seen too much of it, even just in the 20-something episodes.
My ultimate thing to fix all of this is you replace all of these governments, man. That's like the only way.
Yes, socialist world empire.
It's just like, no, but the global cooperation is the only way that this actually all works.
Yeah.
The thing is we have, if you looked at my last segment, we have an international chain that works for the people, and why I can get a tomato for 97 cents is because of that global cooperation, because the standardization of all these countries creating the same systems so that they're interchangeable and everybody.
I think the tariffs in the future will be seen as just like insane. Like, what was this? I think we're truly going to see that kind of response, not even because of the implementation necessarily, but the randomness and the severity.
Well, the only way you can do this is like if China stops, like, okay, the thing about China is and not to get in the rabbit hole, they don't allow certain companies there like we allow here.
Right.
It's not. Yeah,
it's called like a blue hat license.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I looked into it.
So there are certain things that like it's not a two-way street, and countries like China would have to allow American companies the same freedoms as we allow Chinese companies here. We allow them to buy our land,
right?
And in China, it's illegal, for us to be able to do something like that. But that's the only way that the full global cooperation works, because that's the whole reason why tariffs exist, because the American companies don't get the same ability to compete in China, get business there as they would here as well.
Right.
So it is,
but it's a tax on the citizenry and what the citizenry use.
Well, tariffs are a good thing if used properly. They just haven't been used properly in the more recent years. There are case scenarios where there are good tariffs that have created a nice balance. So,
well, we got into it. We talked about politics. We're going to go into the prepared segment. Now, this is the first one that I've prepared. So you may see me look off screen at certain points because I'm getting into the details of my news show, the information. I basically know what I want to tell you guys tonight, what I want to explain to you, because I'm very deep into supplements and nutraceutical knowledge in general. And I've been doing it for basically the past decade, maybe even a little bit more time, because I started doing this when I was like 9, 10 years old. And the thing you have to understand about nutritional supplements is that they are food. It is a food product that you are taking. And these things are generally split into 2 different categories. You have things which are true foods, as I would call them, right? And these are the vitamins and minerals that you need that most of us are deficient in. Now, you may say, I eat my fruits and veggies. I should have a good diet. I should have the right mineral numbers. And then people go get tested and get their food sources tested. They realize the quality of minerals in our fruits, veggies, things that are grown over the years because of farming and industrial farming and the way that it's done, the soil is so depleted that all the numbers and daily values that you see, they're from like the 70s and the 80s, and they haven't been updated forever because they don't want to do the testing.
Right.
They don't want to realize how bad the situation truly is. And I'm not saying there aren't health benefits to eating healthy. Of course there are. But the main thing you have to understand with supplementation, day one, as cautious as you're going to be, the most cautious possible, someone like Tim, who didn't have his first drink until he was like 22, 23 years old.
23, baby.
The first thing you have to understand, number one, even if you don't want to dabble into, the more phytochemical, like plant chemical side of supplementation, which is still food, and I'll get into that, there are things that you're lacking in your modern diet. There are real things, and everyone knows this kind of vaguely. They know to take the multivitamin maybe and to try to supplement with a few things. There are a few things that are really, really key to health, to male health specifically, to mental, cognitive, and physical performance that just aren't talked about. We're going to get into that a lot in this stream. We're going to get into it in the future. But I just wanted to explain really quick that first category, that true food category, that is just vitamins and minerals. And that is stuff that is sold at HEB, sold at CVS, sold at Walmart, anywhere you can get it. And there are a lot of things like everyone should take a little bit of vitamin C. Everyone should take a little bit of NAC. Everyone should take a little bit of magnesium, right? These are things that people generally know, but they don't necessarily know why they're good for them. It's good for you because it's food. It's stuff that you should already have in your diet, but you don't get into any of it. Now, I want to get into the second category, all right, which are plant drugs, as I call them. And, I'm not supposed to call them drugs. It's not medical advice. I'm not talking medical here. This is just me pontificating on a topic. Or phytochemicals, they're compounds inside various herbs, most of them classified as adaptogens, classified as functional mushrooms. And what these plant drugs do is mechanism of action, just like, anything that would be pharmaceutical or over-the-counter or holistic in nature. All these herbs, all drugs kind of work on the same way. They act on different receptors in your body and they do different things. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, something that we're selling very specifically, is ashwagandha. All right. And everyone knows about ashwagandha. It's referred to as the king of the adaptogens, basically. Right. But what ashwagandha does is it modulates cortisol. All right. And we're going to get into the minutia of how it does that and why it does that. But you got to understand there are other herbs. There are things like berberine. What does berberine do? It's a glucose disposal agent. So you eat a lot of carbs, you take berberine, the carbs are more evenly distributed. You don't have as big an insulin spike. You're able to dispose of that excess glucose. And there are hundreds, even thousands of different herbs with all these different properties. The reason why we chose ashwagandha specifically was because of how time tested it was, because the studies on it were so powerful. We're going to get into the results and some graphs with you guys, but mainly because we knew it would work for people. Now, Tim, what is your experience looking into supplements? What was it like for you to try Power Plant, and why are you excited about the stuff we have coming down the line?
Yeah, prior to taking Power Plant, very skeptical, as I had mentioned at the beginning of the show. The whole age of 23, not having my first drink was for various reasons, but ultimately I am very conscious about what I put in my body, and most of the supplements that I see have these crazy concoctions and mystery stuff. And just like after taking the COVID, getting forced to take the vaccine and just seeing what it did to my body, I also became even more skeptical. So for you, when you broke it down for me, what was in Power Plant at the time, and then I put it through ChatGPT, I put the label, and I had it verify, okay, well, let me check and see like what's in this.
Right.
And ultimately, all the ingredients were found in their natural elements. And it was like, well, there's no issue with taking
There's no contraindication.
Right. And then what really put it into perspective is like, the Red Bull that I drink has way more shit in it.
Right.
That's actually terrible.
That's a supplement formula all on its own.
Right. But it's just in a cool drinking form where Red Bull gives you wings.
But you see that they're both food.
Right.
And that's how it's done. right? So like one of the main requirements for a supplement is that it can't have contraindications, right? And like that's why things that have like an MAOI effect, things like St. John's wort, they actually have to be classified and labeled differently. And this is part of the industry. But just getting into what those kind of true foods do for you. They build your hormones, they maintain your electrical gradients, meaning the electron transport chain within the cell, within the mitochondria. They stabilize enzymes, they repair tissue, they produce ATP, and they help detoxify reactive oxygen species. Now, let's talk about reactive oxygen species for a second. And this is going to be a deep dive. We're going to do a full hour on this stuff. It's going to be really fun. And look, if this isn't your cup of tea, I understand you're not going to get a better education on supplements and what they are anywhere else. And next time someone talks to you about supplementation or asks you about it, you'll actually have an explanation as to what it is. And I think that that's super, super important. And that's what I'm trying to give to you guys here tonight. So the thing is, if you don't have these critical cofactors, if you don't have these critical minerals, then your body cannot complete the enzymatic cellular processes to get a healthy, optimally functioning machine type of result. Like magnesium, which we have in the mineral blend. Magnesium is responsible for over 300 enzymatic processes within the body. And most people are deficient.
I'm probably deficient.
And this is what I tell people, like, number one, the very simple things like magnesium. Are you taking something with magnesium in it? It's essential for sleep. It's essential for bowel movements, hormones, everything, free testosterone. I'm going to show you a study in here later that shows like a 15 or 20% increase in free testosterone when working out and taking magnesium.
Yeah.
So like there are all these different things and there are all these little benefits that you get to kind of stack on top of each other. And someone that's not experienced with supplementation might go, oh, I'm not going to see that much of a benefit or a result from this. I'm kind of skeptical. I'm just trying something. It's probably going to be placebo effect. I am telling you, Tim, you've heard people call into the show, right?
Yeah, they always talk about the magnificent things that supplements you get.
And I mean, the thing is, it's not that the supplement is so powerful. It's like making your body act like, it's not like you're taking super soldier serum. What it is usually is the minerals in whatever blend they're taking, not even the adaptogens, although sometimes reactive oxygen species environment, it could be the adaptogen. A lot of the time, the mineral just fixes the deficiency. But getting into reactive oxygen species. So we talk about methylene blue a lot. We're not selling methylene blue here. Well, let me give you a basic example. The mitochondria, it goes to produce ATP. The first stage of that process, it creates something called superoxide, which is like the most dangerous free radical, makes more free radicals, goes everywhere in the body, right? Mm-hmm. That's going to happen regardless. That's a part of cellular metabolism. That's a part of living and dying. We all get older, we all die. And the more ROS, reactive oxygen species, we incur, and there's all different kinds of them that come from inflammation, stress, you name it. The more of those we build up over time, the cell eventually hits something called its Hayflick limit, which is it gets up to 48 divisions and then it dies, but it doesn't die. It stays alive, like the lights are on, but no one's home. It's a senescent cell now, and all it does is pump out those inflammatory biomarkers, right? So the key thinking about supplementation is now the key thinking about modern healthcare and how to approach longevity in general. And basically what it comes down to is the podcast bros were right, Tim. They were pretty much right the entire time. It's about reducing your inflammation. It's about reducing mitochondrial damage, and it's about reducing senescent cells by living healthy, by, going to the sauna, by taking supplements, by exercising, you name it. Basically, by being and living healthier, you reduce these biomarkers, and therefore it's pretty much, theoretically been shown that you live longer, right? And like, that makes sense, right? Oh, I need to live healthier, so I'm not going to die. I need to get in shape, so I'm not going to die, right? Well, what does that mean? You need your mitochondria to be healthy. You need your cells to be healthy. You can't have these senescent cells. A lot of the times people will take something like an ashwagandha and they'll notice, hey, my knee pain, my back pain, it's less bad. What is this? What's going on? It's not that you had any specific injury or anything going on. This is indisputable science. This is known. You have senescent cells in different areas of your body, and they pump out the inflammatory markers.
So
they put you in pain.
I got a question for you, because now you've got me thinking.
Absolutely.
In the normal person's diet, and I'll include myself in here, more often than not, depending on what our diet is and what we're eating, most people are not getting enough of the nutrients that they need on just what like God-given plants, fruits, the things that should have provided that. And that's because like those are honestly, for me, the only reason why sometimes it's just hard to like go to the grocery store and like prep and eat in the morning. Like I'm not a person who eats in the morning. It's very hard for me. So is that part of the thing that's leading to some of these deficiencies, because we're not consuming enough of the the thing that's actually supposed to give it to
yes,
us?
it's harder to find in the natural foods. You have to eat a lot more of it. You have to be a lot more prepared. And basically at this point, like there are things that you kind of have to supplement, right? Like someone like you make less vitamin D3, right? Like people of like more pigmentation, more melanin, you make like 70, 80% less vitamin D. You have to take it supplementally. The number's like 90% deficiency.
What's the thing that gives me vitamin D normally? Is it sunlight or is it milk? What is it?
So it's very interesting. The reason why white people are white is not actually a sunlight exposure thing. It's a dietary issue, right? So when people moved up to Europe, people started eating more like plant matter and whatnot, and they started agriculture more. Yeah. Whereas down in Africa, people are eating more meat. Basically, in the organ meats, that's where you find things like vitamin D, vitamin A. Okay. There wasn't that in the food, so people became paler. Does that make sense?
Like an evolutionary.
Yeah, that's microevolution. That's established. That's how it works. Know that. And there's gene science to prove that. But basically, different populations of people all have different needs. You specifically, I would heavily recommend vitamin D, and that's why it's in our new formula, because
I'll be taking.
Yeah, it addresses a whole bunch of issues, guys. And not to get too into the nitty gritty, but basically, we all these gene pathways, we all these things that modulate differently. Different people have good and bad methylation genes. Different people can drink and cannot drink. It all comes down to the science. But if essentially, whatever your system is, you can make your system run better by giving it the optimal fuel it needs. And that's what we've done with these blends. Now, ashwagandha specifically modulates the HPA axis, which is the hypothalamic pituitary axis, the HPA for short. It's a real tongue twister. I don't like to say it. It alters cortisol dynamics, and it shifts the anabolic-catabolic balance. It increases testosterone, enhances mitochondrial function, and improves physical performance. They're not nutritional roles. These are regulatory interventions, and that comes from lowering that cortisol, right? So cortisol is the stress hormone. It gets released due to high-stress environment, all these things. It's I looked it up. I looked up the actual biomarker. CRH, corticotropin-releasing hormone, and those come from neurons in your brain. That's sent to your pituitary, and then adrenocorticotropin hormone is released, and that's what cascades down into cortisol, right? So ashwagandha inhibits those CRH neurons, and that's what's really powerful and important to understand about ashwagandha.
Yeah, my mom is a psychologist, and one of the things that she recommended to my sister was to take ashwagandha because of its properties. And I didn't even know my mom knew about ashwagandha, which is crazy.
Right. Talk a little bit more about that. I'm trying to find something really quick.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of like, she isn't one of those psychiatrists that prescribes people with like, antidepressants and crazy pharmaceutical things. She always provides like either natural solutions or she just says like lifestyle changes. She always goes with lifestyle changes first. Like if you're stressed out, go and handle what's causing the stress first and then implement something else on top of it. But like the ashwagandha was something that she knew was completely natural and recommended to, not just my sister, but like myself and some other people as one of those things to help take down the edge. Because at the end of the day, it is stress is a normal thing in life.
Yeah, no, 100%. And what happens with stress is when you encounter a stressor, the hypothalamus signals the pituitary gland, and then it signals the adrenal glands to release the cortisol. And that's what I was talking about earlier. The chronic stress, the hypothalamus releases more and more CRH, which is the corticotropin releasing hormone. The pituitary releases ACTH. The adrenal glands produce the cortisol. Then ashwagandha, its mechanism of action, where it comes in to help blunt this, reverse it, so you can have a more healthy environment skewed more towards anabolism, which would be growing muscle and being fit, versus catabolism, which is breaking down tissue and being weak. It decreases the CRH release in the hypothalamus. It reduces ACTH secretion from the pituitary, and it directly lowers cortisol output from the adrenal cortex. So when you're talking about something that blunt stress,
can we scroll down here on?
Yeah,
I want to show people where ashwagandha actually comes from. This is something we wanted to include on the website here so that people knew what the root is, because the whole thing of our product is to talk about ancient remedies. So ashwagandha is derived from ancient Sanskrit, and that's basically, think of like Indian origin. So ashwagandha, this does come from India.
Right. And all these herbs, they come from either traditional Chinese medicine or they come from Indian medicine.
Right. So ashwa means horse, and then gandha means essence or smell. So this is the root that's said to grant
power of the horse.
The power of the horse. So people used to use this thousands of years ago in the ancient medicine that you can see here. And they were taking these for like 3,000 years. This is something that was already built, and we're just taking it and giving it to you in a modern way.
Right.
And that was the thing that was beautiful.
And the thing to understand about this is the most popular supplement on the market. Look, we're doing this and we want this to be successful. We wanted to bring people the best thing possible. We kicked around a lot of different ideas. Ultimately, bar none, like Nick Fuentes takes ashwagandha. Everyone takes ashwagandha. Everyone talks about it. This is the most popular over-the-counter supplement. I mean, if I go to the supplement aisle, HEB, and I'm just trying to look for something or grab something, single ingredient formula, whenever I see the ashwagandha, it's always almost off the shelf because people know how good it is.
Now, can you explain the KSM 66? Because there's not all ashwagandha is built
now,
equal.
I was going to wait a little bit to do that, but I can go ahead and get into that now. The important thing to understand about the KSM 66 is I talked at the beginning of this whole rant about the boomer selling the supplements and they're too expensive and we're offering a greater return on your investment essentially when you choose to buy a product at Primal Core or goprimalcore.com. There are benefits to getting trademarked ingredients because some of these extracts have been around for so long and are so tested, and the meta-analyses, not even the studies, the meta-analyses on these specific extracts that have been trademarked. I mean, when you look at KSM 66, I'm going to read some of these claims out to you, and you can look at the studies yourself, and I'll show them, and in the comments after this video, I'm going to link some of them. You're going to be amazed at just the percentage increases that you're going to see. They took a group of untrained people, and they had them start on the same strength training program. Right now, you say untrained, newbie gains. That makes sense. I get it. The placebo group had the newbie gains too. You got two people working out. It's 30 and 30, the study. And the group that took the ashwagandha, they progressed double and they had a 76% increase on their bench press compared to the placebo group. Now, how is it doing that? It's lowering the cortisol. So it's creating a more muscle-friendly environment, more anabolic environment, and it's raising testosterone at the same time. So by blunting stress and raising testosterone, you really have this athletic panacea that's also a cognitive and a nootropic aid. It's really all in one. It's a very, very fascinating compound. I mean, it does a lot of things, right? So cortisol, breakdown on this, cortisol's primary role during stress is to mobilize your energy reserves, right? So like you're stressed, you're in a survival situation, you got to fight, you got to run, you got to be able to do X, Y, Z. So your cortisol goes up, right? It achieves this by promoting catabolism or the breakdown of complex molecules, like your muscle protein that you would like to keep on you as much as possible, right? It breaks down the muscle protein into the amino acids, which are used by the liver for gluconeogenesis, where they create glucose for the brain and the body. This process is highly anti-anabolic. It directly works against muscle building and repair. And beyond even that, this isn't in what I prepared, but this from the top of my head, cortisol also increases your fat. Hold on to your stored energy. So it's literally in a catabolic state, and having high cortisol is probably the worst thing you could have happen to your body. Right
now,
I don't want on to fat, and then you're burning muscle.
I don't want to correlate it, but is that like sometimes like people who are under high levels of stress, not only just the diet, but the stress itself contributes to you just gaining weight?
100%.
People are just like
100%. And the thing is, you could be at near caloric maintenance or even in a deficit. But if you're in a deficit and you're in a catabolic state, your body's going to be burning off the muscle and trying to keep the fat. That's totally skewed. And why ashwagandha is so important is it comes in there and it flips the script on that whole thing, where instead of low testosterone, high stress, you have low stress, high testosterone. And that's really how you have to think about this ingredient. And it's great for women too. The studies on women and testosterone show it's not statistically significant. And how this works is it actually stimulates the Sertoli cells or Leydig cells in your nuts, ladies and gentlemen, in your balls. It stimulates them to produce more testosterone as a byproduct of it relaxing the HPA. The HPA is also referred to as the HPTA. The T stands for testicular. Right. So it's all wrapped up in the pituitary. And that's what you have to understand. Ashwagandha takes you from high stress, low testosterone to low stress, high testosterone. And that's why it's the perfect supplement ingredient, especially if you're getting into it. You want to try something first. This is tested for safety. They got 16, 18, 12-week studies on people taking double, triple the doses that you're going to take, even if you take a high dose with us. Right. So the safety is there. The strength of the ingredient is there. The data is there. And you don't have to just believe us talking about it on live. You can go do your own research. The thing that blows my mind is ashwagandha is incredible. There's all these other amazing compounds and plant phytochemicals that we're going to bring to market eventually. No one knows about this stuff. And when asked about a supplement or what it is, but do you understand now? It's a bioactive plant chemical that goes in and modulates something to your advantage, basically.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about ashwagandha when we first started and when it was exposed. And I just saw the research and everything that went into like how the stuff is made and how it's sourced. I was like, wow.
Right.
So I will literally be taking all of this stuff right alongside you guys. Like, I'm not one of those people that like.
We're gonna do a whole bunch of runs where we get people, and hey, if you order from us, look, incredible. Please order from us at goprimalcore.com. Try the ashwagandha, try the combo pack, try the multi-mineral. What do we call it? Elemental drive. Right?
Yeah. Can we throw up the code for them?
No, 100%. Is that going to be on the main page? But
I'll show you in a second.
Where's it?
We're gonna
go ahead.
Sorry, guys.
But go ahead and place an order. If you get it, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll follow you and I'll DM you, and we'll do a testimonial after 30 days after you've started taking this. I know Tim is going to have a phenomenal effect. I know I've tried this in the past. I'll be on it again. I know I'm going to have a phenomenal effect. It's something that I think everyone's going to benefit
and
from.
It's not a stimulant, right?
No.
So you do need time for it to actually work in your system. It's not like methylene where you're just going to feel it the next day, correct?
Well, no, actually, and we'll get into that. Go ahead and play the thing really quick.
Okay, guys, we'll be right back. This bottom left corner is going to have the code, and you can also scan this. If you're on your TV, you can scan this with your QR code. You get a 25% off. We're going to be running this during the pre-sale.
And really quick, we appreciate with you bearing with us. We appreciate you indulging us by watching the ad. Look, just check this out. See if it's something you're interested in. See if it is. Just go to the website and see if it's something you're interested in. All right, we're back now, and I just want to say I went on Twitter to just like say check out the store and that you were on bathroom break or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw someone say like it's snake oil, your body can't absorb. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. I mean, the studies are there. We're literally offering it to you in the same form, studied, tested as like the peer-reviewed journals and meta-analysis offer it. Your body can absorb it. You can look up the bioavailability of all of these compounds. It's publicly available. It's all real. So like my thing is I get defensive about the snake oil thing because like, have you not been to a grocery store? Have you not been to a Whole Foods? Have you not been to H-E-B?
I literally just thought about that today. I went into the H-E-B and I just looked at the shelves.
Right.
And I just saw all the bullshit that was on the shelf.
Bullshit?
No, the bad stuff that was on the all the stuff. Like there was like Twinkies.
Cheeto.
It was like the amount of stuff that was in there was like, oh.
Right, but you got the supplement aisle in there, man, and you've got people that have been going in there for decades and decades and decades buying stuff and getting health benefits. I mean, just throwing this out, we don't even sell it. CoQ10. You take 300 milligrams of CoQ10 and increases your heart ejection fraction by almost 4%. That's statistically significant. That's something they recommend people take before heart surgery. Oh, it's all bullshit. It's snake oil. Like, no, it's not. It's real. And that's why people are invested in it. So I want to get into this more because you talked about cortisol and you posed the example of, hey, someone being really stressed out. Maybe that's why they're overweight, not necessarily because of diet or exercise. They're just in kind of a bad metabolic environment. So let's get into that a little bit, right?
Okay.
So excessive cortisol levels, often seen in chronic stress or overtraining, can directly suppress the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, which is the system responsible for regulating testosterone production. This is often referred to as the hormonal seal or suppression due to the stress response dominance. Both cortisol and testosterone are steroid hormones derived from cholesterol via the same complex pathway of steroidogenesis. Vitamin D3 also involved in that process. You have to have it for steroidogenesis.
Wow.
It's like, that's why that's super important. Just a little tangent. When your body is under chronic stress, the pathway preferentially shunts resources towards the production of cortisol instead of testosterone, even at its expense.
Wow.
So you see how important changing that ratio is, right? And that's why ashwagandha, mechanism of action, it blunts cortisol. That's what it does. It's also got some antioxidant properties, which are great for overall health. as we talked about the reactive oxygen species and the senescent cells, that's important too. That's just kind of a sidekick thing. This is something that lowers that cortisol.
This is actually getting me really excited.
By reducing excessive cortisol secretion through HPA axis modulation, reducing that CRH and ACTH and direct adrenal output, ashwagandha achieves 2 performance-enhancing effects. It minimizes catabolism, number one. That's number one. Lowers cortisol means less muscle protein breakdown, and that ensures the body remains in a more anabolic state, allowing muscle repair and growth to occur more efficiently. This is crucial for recovery after intense resistance training. And this is something like people that train all the time, they know. Like they know this is something to take. If like they're getting beat up or whatnot, they know this is something that'll amp them back up. And consequentially, allowing testosterone to rise by relieving the suppressive and competitive pressure of high cortisol, ashwagandha allows that HPG axis to function optimally, leading to measurable increases in total serum testosterone and its precursor DHEA. That shows its upstream action, right? It's not just making you crank out more testosterone by acting on those Sertoli or Leydig cells that I talked about. It's through the brain. This is a pituitary thing, particularly in stressed or strength training individuals. So if you're working really hard, this will really help you. And that's
I work hard.
And like we're making things here for people that work hard. We're making things here for people that want to optimize their lifestyle. We're making things here for people that want to win. Do you want to win? Do you want the most studied, the most time-tested, time-honored, time-proven compound that you can get? It's the ashwagandha. And we got it available on sale. I think it's like 30% off.
Yeah,
25% off. That's an incredible deal.
But you can get 30% off if you do the 1 month. You get it basically once a month.
Right.
30% off. That's basically like $25 essentially, and you're basically re-upping essentially every month, and you're going to get this every single month, even if you run out, if you take it every single day.
Right. And let's get into these numbers because the studies are ridiculous. All right, you got a 74% greater increase in the bench press strength. I talked about that study group. You got 62% greater increases in arm muscle cross-sectional area, like how thick the arm is. Roughly 2 times faster progression curves compared to matched controls. And they had 2 groups of people run a strength training program for at least like 12 or 16 weeks, right? And at the end of the study, the people that took the ashwagandha, they had nearly double the results of the people that didn't. Think about that. Think about that. And this is from a journal. This has been peer-reviewed, and this is in a meta-analysis. Wow. This is as real as you're going to get. Right? Ashwagandha's catabolic cortisol reduction also removes inhibitory pressure on Leydig cells, which is why trials report 10 to 22% increases in total testosterone and significant elevations in free testosterone, often in the 15 to 25% range. That is huge. And when we start talking about the mineral blend, when we start showing the graphs and start showing the information about just how many of these benefits you can stack on top of each other, and they all got separate mechanisms of action. Right? We're not like cranking one dial to 100. We're cranking a lot of dials just a couple notches up to where they naturally should be. And that's how you get the holistic effect that lasts and doesn't go away. And this is so key for people to understand. You look for a shortcut. You look for a cheat code. You look for something that's going to work right now. Sure, there are things like that exist, but they're very expensive on your health because they're not healthy by their nature.
Sure.
Right? This is something that literally puts your body in a healthier environment.
I like that.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes
Does that make sense for the audience? And like, I pontificate about this. I go on InfoWars too, and I plug and I talk about supplements. I do it because I believe in them and I take them and I love them. And I think you should take them too. And I think if you did the research, which is why we're walking through the research tonight on the show, which is why we're talking about it. If you look this stuff up, I mean, look, just become a believer because like this is the train. This is the future of modern health. This is what everyone talks about. And this is one of the #1 compounds you're going to find. Now, recovery and tissue damage. This is a huge thing, right? People, trying to work out really hard, New Year's resolution, trying to get in shape. Oftentimes, they get in that environment, that cortisol, that stress peaks. They're not used to it. Boom, you burn out. This stuff, 20, 30% lower post-exercise CK level. I believe that's a fatigue score. Significantly reduced DOMS duration, right? So you're sore less, right? And that's got a lot to do with the antioxidant property. Noticeably faster session-to-session recovery. Athletes often report this by week 2. Lower cortisol, lower systemic stress, lower inflammatory load, higher training density, because your body is not having to fight against a negative environment. It's having to fight against the positive stressors that you are giving it. That's the key. We're like, I know I'm saying the same thing here, but we got to walk through it over and over and over again. Do you understand how powerful this is? Because if it's able to blunt the cortisol thing that's elevated in all of our lives due to a variety of factors, if it's just able to do that, it'll put you in the positive atmosphere you need to be in to succeed in exercise and just in work in general. This is a nootropic too. It's lowering that stress. It's lowering that anxiety. This is a key thing to think about. Right? It modulates the GABA receptor, but it doesn't bind to it directly like benzodiazepines do. It has a different mode, right? So this has actually been shown in long-term trials to not have suppression of that, which is very important. You don't want to overmodulate GABA, but this is one of those plant compounds like apigenin, which is found in chamomile, which seems to do that in a safe way. I mean, people drink chamomile tea all day, right?
Yep.
So we talk about these things. It's very important to understand, especially if you're risk adverse, right? Because we got to walk through how safe it is. Cardiorespiratory output. Ashwagandha improves mitochondrial efficiency and autonomic balance, which shows up as a 7 to 14% increase in your VO2 max. Anyone that's an athlete, anyone that's done sports, they know how important that figure is right there. All right. Higher tolerance for threshold level work, better maintenance of output under fatigue conditions. And this is typical for a lot of adaptogens that modulate stress signaling and ATP turnover. This doesn't have to do necessarily with the cortisol. This has to do with those antioxidant plant compound properties that we talked about other ingredients as well. And you got better maintenance of output under fatigue conditions, right? Body composition. With cortisol reduced and androgen signaling more effective, you get 2.3 times greater reductions in body fat percentage. This was the craziest thing from the study, right? And that comes from that same exercise study.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So you got people getting bigger and you got people getting leaner, and it's not a steroid. It's a thing that's existed for thousands of years.
That's the thing I like, because I see people taking shit like Ozempic to try to get like results
Gila monster
fast.
venom.
Yeah, whereas like taking something that's been around for thousands of years and 2.3 times greater reduction. I like that.
Right. And getting in, again, why we chose the KSM-66, right? We have to use a full spectrum root extract, which is what the KSM-66 is. It's standardized root extract, and it has to have up to 5% with lanolides in it, right? It has to be standardized to that 5% because that's what all the studies are standardized on. That's what the proven data represents, right? So we got the absolute best form of this possible. We put it in a capsule. We made it in America, and we're giving it to you. So again, I'm going to throw up the site really quick, and we're going to get into more here. I'm not done. We're going to get into the second formula, which I think is even better, to be honest with you. I love it. I fell in love with it. I kept on, when we first got into this, Tim, I was like, I want to add another ingredient. I want to add another ingredient. I want to add another ingredient because I wanted it to be the very best elemental drive multi-mineral product available for cognition, for mental and physical performance. But we're going to get into that now. But if you're interested in ashwagandha and you're interested in what I had to say, please check out the ashwagandha, guys. Please check out this product. It's discounted right now. It's $27. And if you get it and if you message me about it, we'll set up, we're going to do a bunch of review streams, and Tim himself is going to take it well, and you're really going to see guys. But let's get in further onto the presentation. What is Elemental Drive? What is this product? This is my favorite. This is my baby right here. I love it. Mechanism of action: restoring critical micronutrients required for androgen output, neural drive, and cellular repair. This formula right here, this Elemental Drive formula right here, rebuilds the very micronutrient foundation it's required. All right, it's required for hormone signaling, mitochondrial output, and tissue recovery. The same process amplified by the ashwagandha, by the HPA modulation, and deficiencies in these critical minerals, in zinc, in magnesium, in selenium, in boron, in copper, and vitamin D3. Man, you're really getting a lot there, all in the most efficacious forms possible. And we'll get into that, by the way. These directly impair the enzymes that produce testosterone, not having deficiencies in these critical minerals. Directly impair enzymes that produce testosterone, regulate free testosterone, neutralize oxidative stress, and maintain electrical and neuromuscular efficiency. You have to have these minerals in their bioavailable forms to achieve these things, right? So what is zinc, for example? Zinc increases GnRH, which is gonadotropin-releasing hormone signaling from the hypothalamus. What does that do? We just talked about it with the ashwagandha, right? The ashwagandha releases the stress on the HPTA, and the HPTA is able to take the cholesterol that it was going to use to make the cortisol, and it shuttles that towards the testosterone. So you got an increase there. And then on top of that, by giving the fuel to the brain to increase the GnRH and to make that hormone, you're getting even more signaling to enhance the LH release, the luteinizing hormone release from the pituitary. This also drives Leydig cell testosterone synthesis. Now, I'm going to get into a bit of deep lore here, and this is probably bad for the viewers or whatever. You probably won't like it, but I have to nerd out here for a second. All right. So you have to understand there are 2 drugs that are used to help male infertility, right? And selenium helps male infertility as well. We'll get into that. That's also in this formula. There are 2 drugs used. They're called HMG and HCG, right? HCG, human gonadotropin, whatever it is. It's the thing that a pregnancy tests for, right? So that's the thing. Like if a girl has it, she's pregnant. If you have it, it's the signaling to your balls to produce testosterone. The Sertoli cells, which are not the Leydig cells, those are activated by HMG, and that's the actual growth of the testis. So this is what you have to understand. Now, both the ashwagandha and the zinc increase LH. They increase luteinizing hormone. One backstream cascade, the other one another backstream cascade by increasing the GnRH signaling from the hypothalamus. This is like a crazy boost. Like I made this to be crazy. Like you start taking this, your testosterone is going to go up. Like I'm more.
Now, can you talk to some of the benefits from having more testosterone as a guy? Because like the thing is like, you know, I'm following this
100%,
but just from the bare bones, like having more testosterone, what does that do for me as a man, or just in general as a person who's just trying to like
absolutely
compete?
So just compete in life, right? Both physical and mental. Testosterone, a lot of people don't know this. I'll get into the science of it all. Testosterone is actually a neurotransmitter before anything. And testosterone's role, and I've heard Dr. Andrew Huberman speak on this, essentially it makes effort feel good. It's a dopamine regulation, dopamine modulator. It's in your brain. It helps prime your reward system, right? So if you have low testosterone, it's beyond anything even physical. You literally have low mental signaling. You have low levels of this neurotransmitter that you need to function optimally.
And aren't we at some of the lowest testosterone levels ever in
lowest
society?
Testosterone levels ever. And that's because of dietary choices. That's because of mineral deficiencies. I'm going to show you a study where people with a mineral deficiency took zinc. Their testosterone went up 90%. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up. It's all backed by the literature. And you talk about testosterone's benefits, physical. You have androgen receptors in your muscle tissue. You have more testosterone. You have more androgenic signaling. You're able to take the protein that you eat and turn it into muscle. If you have low testosterone and high cortisol, like we talk about, you can't grow muscle in that environment. You grow muscle, your body will strip it off for fuel, and then you'll keep the fat because your body thinks you're starving. So having high testosterone also really means having low cortisol. Right? Unless you're taking it exogenously, that's what it means, right? So these things come hand in hand, and this is why we talk about these benefits, guys. Zinc is required for multiple, very complex enzymatic processes, including 17 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, which is the enzyme converting precursors into testosterone. It's also incredibly essential. Ooh, this is a big deal for 5-alpha reductase regulation. Right. So what is 5-alpha reductase? Testosterone is a very dirty hormone, as in it converts into a lot of different things in your body. The main things you have to think about are dihydrotestosterone, also known as DHT. And then you've got estrogen, which is created by the aromatase enzyme. The 5-alpha reductase is what creates the DHT. DHT can cause things you don't like being bald. I got a lot of it. That's number one. And having body hair, which I also have a lot of. But it's also key for mental and physical drive, exercise performance, and more than anything, erections. A lot of people don't know this. Like they give DHT cream to people that can't.
I'll just take Viagra.
So all these things, they play critical roles in modulating your hormonal system, right? And testosterone, it's not just this one thing. It's this one thing, and it's a whole bunch of things, right? Now, what you'll see with ashwagandha and with these minerals is sustainable increases, and you'll also see things like, hey, this formula raises testosterone so much, especially when combined. Hey, could we worry about excess estrogen? Maybe you're converting too much estrogen, because just like the 5-alpha reductase converts into DHT, the aromatase enzyme converts into estrogen. Hey, it looks like we might raise total testosterone by speculating 50% if you take both these things. Hypothetically, in our world that we're talking about here, if you didn't have anything suppressing the estrogen from that, you might have too much estrogen. Well, we got boron in here, which modulates the aromatase enzyme, which lowers estrogen. So it's a complete formula from all angles. And that's just another ingredient in the elemental drive. And I want to talk about boron really quick because it's slept on. Boron is basically the #1 thing you can take as a man or as a woman, especially for bone density and collagen synthesis and whatnot. But as a man, for free testosterone specifically, this is something you talk about. You know, Tim, you threw out the word testosterone. You asked me about it, right? When you think of testosterone, you just think about it as a number, right?
Yeah,
Like
just like count. They always just say testosterone count. What's your testosterone count?
Right. So you got your total testosterone, which is all the testosterone in your blood, right? And that testosterone is bound by something called sex hormone binding globulin. It's also known as SHBG, right? Your free testosterone number is what's unbound and what's active and able to bind to tissue and to exhibit its effect, right? So we have boron in this formula, which has been shown to increase free testosterone by like 20, 30, 40%, depending on the dose you take. It's truly insane. It's truly insane. And at the same time, it modulates estrogen. So it lowers your estrogen. So like that's literally, that's what you want. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Yep.
You literally can't. Like, come to me and tell me how I could improve this supplement. This supplement has zinc in it for the testosterone, for cognitive benefits, which we'll get into. It has copper in it because, hey, a lot of people don't know this. I saw the meme everywhere. Oh, I'm taking zinc. I'm going to have huge loads. Like, I saw this everywhere on Twitter. Everywhere people are talking about it. First off, that's disgusting. All right. It's for your wife in your bedroom for your pleasure and whatever. All right. Be nice. That's #1. #2, all these people taking 40, 50 milligrams of zinc, which is way too high. That's #1. They're not taking any copper with it. They're taking it for weeks and weeks, maybe even months on end. And what that does, a lot of people don't know this because they don't have the supplement knowledge. And this is why it's important to know about all these things in context. Zinc and copper are both taken out the same way in the gut. So if you take all this zinc and you have just normal copper intake, the copper is not going to get absorbed.
Yeah, okay. That I remember researching this because the absorption rate and how, like, if you have two things competing for the same thing, it's not just going to all be dragged on by one side or the other, essentially.
And I did a deep dive on this. I did my research. The optimum ratio, if you're going to supplement them together, is 10-1. And what do we have here? We got like 22 milligrams of zinc bisglycinate in its highest, most bioavailable form. We got 2 milligrams of copper. Like, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, he spent his time. This is his baby, guys.
Just what more do you want? How much of a higher level product do you want? You talk about everything else. Everyone knows they have to take vitamin D3. Oh, I got to take my vitamin D. It's the wintertime. I got to take my vitamin D, my immune system, not just your immune system, your hormones, your skin, everything else. It's all reliant on vitamin D. We talked about it. All steroidogenesis is dependent on it. At the end of the day, if you're going to take a vitamin D supplement, you might as well take one that has zinc, copper, vitamin D3, magnesium, boron, and selenium all in one in it. Like, where are you going to find a better thing? You might find a generic multivitamin that has like 100 different things in it. And some of the vitamins are in crazy high amounts that you don't want to take. It's a big newsflash. Next time you look at your multivitamin, you're like, what am I actually taking?
Yeah, that was the thing I was asking you too before you were formulating all this stuff. That was the thing that I was afraid of. I was like, I want to make sure that anything that I'm taking, as well as the people who are going to buy this, they're in safe levels that your body can actually compensate.
Right.
And also, maybe you'll talk about this later, but having multiple of these ingredients layered, because they're single ingredients, they're all activating different parts. So it's not like you're messing your body up because that's what I see sometimes is like when they combine a bunch of shit in some of these other products.
Well, this is stuff systemically you're supposed to have all together anyway.
Gotcha.
And that's what's so like and I love this. Tim touches on the safety so much. Like, that's why we did this. We wanted to create the safest, highest quality, and strongest, because strength like appeals to us. We want this to be strong for you guys. We wanted to include the best blend possible. It's not even zinc bisglycinate. It's even more expensive. It's zinc picolinate, 25 milligrams. Boron is boron citrate, 8 milligrams. Selenium is selenium methionine, 125 milligrams. I think that's micrograms. We need to get that typo change. Maybe a little issue there. Magnesium is magnesium glycinate, 200 milligram. Copper, 2 milligram. Vitamin D3, 5,000 IU. That's what you want in any standard vitamin D3 supplement. It's all there. And we talk about it more. I talked about zinc. Magnesium. We got people in the chat saying good things about magnesium. Magnesium is the core mineral for ATP stability. So if you're one of the methylene blue people, if you're one of the Shilajit people that's very into and focused on those things, you want something to help your mitochondria even more, you got to take magnesium consistently. You might as well take it from us. It increases free testosterone. It binds to SHBG, what I just talked about. That's another thing. That's a 1-2 punch. It also binds to SHBG. So it increases that free testosterone. It allows proper relaxin and contraction cycles, reducing peripheral fatigue of muscles, reduces cramps. It stabilizes ATP at the point of synthesis, improving energy turnover, and 19 to 20% increase in free testosterone with magnesium plus training. That's magnesium alone, guys. And then we got all these other layered benefits in here. I mean, how high do you want to take it? We can take it so high.
To the moon.
We can take it literally. We can take it to the moon with these formulas, Tim. Significant increases in vertical jump, power output, and peak torque. Now, is that the magnesium making someone LeBron James? No, that's a magnesium making someone a more optimal human, right? Doesn't that make sense? It's allowing your body to function properly. So it's not like you're jumping higher. You're jumping as high as you should.
Yeah.
Right. And we think about it in that context. And it improves sleep and digestion. It's huge for sleep and digestion, guys. And it supports growth hormone. Magnesium is an androgen amplifier. It's incredible. Boron. Now, we talked about boron a little bit. Let's get into it. You say, what is boron? Boron's for morons. They're like, what is this thing? What is this thing? Boron is the kingpin for reducing sex hormone binding globulin. It reduces it by 9 to 15%. And I believe that's quoting the 3 milligram number in the study. I've seen it as high as 30%. And we'll post links to all these things. I have them. Suppresses inflammatory cytokines that impair androgen receptor sensitivity. So another thing modulating the testosterone, making it even more effective, it's priming the androgen receptor for the testosterone by reducing any form of inflammation at that site locally. I mean, we put the best thing together possible. I'm not bragging. I'm going to brag. I'm going to brag. These seriously are kick-ass formulas, and you would have some invalid come up to you with some bottle of something that they've concocted and someone paid, they paid someone $12, $15 to make it, and it'll have a bunch of trademarked ingredients and different names you can't understand. It's just, look, it's so powerful, bro. It's shiny, bro.
Yeah, that's the part that I was super skeptical, and I was like, we're not doing
that.
Right,
we're not doing that. You don't have to do that. We simply have the best product on the market. That's what this is, this pouch. That's what this is. I am so proud of this. It enhances vitamin D activation, which further drives LH and testosterone production. Guess what? We got vitamin D in here. So you got synergy on 12 different layers with this formula.
That's amazing.
And we're just going through it over and over and over again. I'm sorry if it's boring, but just listen to this. 28 to 39% increases in free testosterone within 1 week of boron repletion. Take it for 1 week, 39%. 39%, over a third. If you're at an 8 total T, that could bring you up to a 12. That's insane. That's not heard about anywhere else. And this isn't a thing that's going to suppress you. This isn't a thing that's going to, like a steroid. This isn't a thing that's going to hurt your fertility. This is something this is how you should feel all the time. Your hormones should be at this level all the time, but we don't get these things in our diet. 10% to 20% increase in total testosterone, sharp reductions in estradiol, that's estrogen, up to 39%, improving androgen balance. That's the key. You see, all these things are stacked and layered on top of each other. Let's talk about selenium. So what is selenium? Selenium is a very popular supplement. A lot of people, they buy selenium at the grocery store and they take it because they know how powerful it is, especially for fertility and all these things. Why not buy it from us? If you're taking selenium already, why not buy it from us? It's required for deiodinase enzymes that convert T4 into active T3. It protects the testes and Leydig cells from oxidative stress, and it supports glutathione regeneration, maintaining redox balance. Glutathione, the master antioxidant in the body, Tim, can't be made without selenium. But you literally can't synthesize it. Wow. So if your body is a lab, and at your lab you have to make certain chemicals to survive, glutathione is the master antioxidant of the entire body, and you can't make it right without selenium. Why are you not supplementing selenium? Why are you not looking into these ingredients? Why are you not doing the research? I understand it's difficult. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's sort of a thing, people act like they have knowledge on it or whatever. I'm just sitting here as a guy for a decade that has sold these things. And I can tell you from day one to now, I have never seen a more impressive multivitamin type of formula other than, the Elemental Drive. It blows my socks off about how good it is, because it takes key ingredients that were in a lot of our top selling best InfoWars formulas of all time, and it just puts them all together the way it always should have been. Right now, I am so proud of these products. I'm proud of the ashwagandha, but I'm especially proud of this one. So let's talk real quick about vitamin D3. Everyone knows it's amazing. It's not a vitamin. It's a steroid hormone, technically, kind of like cholesterol in the same way. That's 4 carbon rings is what that means, is steroid hormone. It and cholesterol are responsible for all steroidogenesis in the human body. It increases LH secretion. How many of these other ingredients have said that about them, right? They increase luteinizing hormone. Tons of them, nearly all of them, right? It enhances androgen receptor density, another thing modulating androgen receptors, so your testosterone works better. and it regulates calcium signaling necessary for contraction force and neural drive. You got to be able to perform well. You got to be able to lift, right? And then clinical outcomes, right? Men supplementing vitamin D3 for 12 weeks show 20 to 25% increase in total testosterone, 15 to 20% increase in free testosterone, strong increases in neuromuscular output and fatigue resistance. And then we got copper, and I told you about that. It's balancing the formula for being heavy on zinc. We've gone into that. I'm going to read some numbers. These are just, pie in the sky, theoretical projections, right? And this is just based on the study data. These are approximations. These are not medical claims at all. Total testosterone, it might go up 20 to 32% with this blend. Free testosterone, 25 to 45% with this blend. Sex hormone binding globulin reduction, 10 to 20%. Androgen receptors will be more sensitive. Neuromuscular improvements with higher peak torque, lower fatigue index, stronger contraction force, better recovery between sets. This is mineral architecture for your whole system. And I just going over it again. High stress, low testosterone, low stress, high testosterone. What road do you want to take? It's like that meme, right? You go to the place with the storm and the evil castle, or the sunshine and the rainbow. You want to go to the sunshine and the rainbow. You want to go to low stress, high testosterone.
True.
What do you think about what I just said? My little rant. What's your opinion? You got any questions?
My only question would be the difference between free testosterone and normal testosterone. The two difference. Like,
right.
I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm the economics money guy. I'm business.
Right.
This is a different world for me. But I am trying to educate myself alongside you guys, which is why I appreciate Rex for doing these deep dives, because there's things that I don't know.
You do the deep dives, man. This is my first one. Tim puts in. Don't tell yourself short. Like you're putting in serious work. I'm proud of you, man. Like look, we're proud of each other. It's a wonderful time. Buy the supplement, please. It's so incredible. But seriously, we're having so much fun here, and it's so fun to put these things together. I have seen the way you pour over the information, and I've had people grumble about it and go, I know X, Y, Z. We're going over these things because people need to know them. And even if you know them, you need to rehash. And that's why I did the whole supplement thing. Do you feel like you know what a supplement is after tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know 95% of this stuff.
Right.
So,
and it's a thing that people spend a lot of money on. Really, they do. That people spend a lot of money on supplements, and they don't even know the mechanism of action. They just take it because, it good.
Well, yeah, that was the thing for me. Like when I saw supplements, they always do a very good job of just telling you what the benefits are, but not explaining how it interacts in your body.
Right.
And then they don't actually go through the ingredients. So I like how you're doing this, where you're kind of like, okay, these are the two products that we have, but we're not just telling you guys to just go and buy them like some of these other people. He wants to educate you on the immediate impact and how it actually interacts with your body.
We made these so we could take them ourselves.
Yeah.
That's number one. That's number one. I was going to do these formulas anyway. We were going to do these formulas anyway. We're bringing them to you because we want to share the wealth, essentially. Like 100%. This is the best thing you're going to find. And as far as the studies go, as far as the information goes, as far as the research goes, you can listen to us or you could do it yourself. You're going to get the same result. These are incredible compounds.
Yeah.
They really are. And the deals we're offering and the prices we're offering and things we're going to offer in the future, I'm really proud of this Primal Core brand. So let's pat ourselves on the back real quick, pat ourselves on the back. And you want to take a couple calls?
Yeah, let's do it. We can definitely take a couple calls.
I'm sweating like a pig here.
Because I'm sure some people have some questions based off of this.
Absolutely.
While I get this set up, guys, I'm going to throw this code back up for you guys so that
go to the store, guys. At least check it out.
Yeah.
If you're not going to buy anything, at least check out what we got there. And I think you're really going to be really happy.
We'll be right back. I just need to pull this up for you guys to get some callers in. We'll pull this up for you guys. So guys, we're back. I have to throw the number up for you guys, so bear with me on this. We're gonna throw this number up. For people who want to call in, what are we trying to do? Just anything
You
goes?
know what, guys? If you got a political anecdote or you got something in the news that you're interested in, tonight's maybe not the show for that. If you got supplement questions or questions about what we're bringing to market here, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Here's the thing. We're not pretentious. We don't believe we're owed anything. If you would do us the honor of talking to us tonight about maybe supplements, how you feel about them, or something that interested you about what we're offering here tonight, it would, to infinity and beyond, I would love you. We're going to throw up the number here. Please join us. Really appreciate all of you being here with us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome, New Groiper. How are you doing today?
Only one person called in.
Hey, man, hanging in there. Another day.
Another day, another dollar?
Satirical we live in.
Or another day, another peso.
Another day, another... Oh, yeah. You know how it goes. I'm on vacation, man.
Hey.
I'm doing nothing, and it's fantastic.
We always need a good vacation, man. What's on your mind?
So I got a question. So I need a supplement. Okay.
Right.
We'll see. That does that is like the opposite of a laxative. Specifically with like digestive stuff. I don't have a gallbladder anymore.
Oh wow.
And ever since I had to get that removed, things have just been terrible. So I didn't know if there was a supplement that would be worth taking. So I tried like some digestive health crap and it did nothing.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of, the gallbladder is responsible for a lot of enzymatic processes and whatnot. You may not be making some digestive enzymes that you were making before. You should look into TUDCA. It's got a very complicated name. UDCA is kind of its twin, but it doesn't have the taurine attached to it. So the taurine attached to it is a supplement. The UDCA is a drug, and the UDCA is the only thing that's approved by the FDA to treat like end-stage cirrhosis of the liver. And I'm not saying you have that or anything like that, but it's able to like regenerate digestive enzymes that aren't being given from other organs. So that might be something to look into. What do you suffer from when it comes to not having a gallbladder? Is it overall digestion issues, or is it just needing the opposite of a laxative? This is not medical advice.
Well, basically, the thing that is the most inconvenient is I can go from fine to I have to use the restroom right now within 30 seconds.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just kind of like, it just, everything's just kind of instant.
You know what? I'm going to research that and I'll definitely come back to that because that's an interesting question. I get a lot of questions from people like, hey, spleen, gallbladder, kidney transplant, like XYZ. And I don't want to even comment or speculate on it because that's not my real knowledge base. When it comes from me is like people that have unexplained aches or pain, people that have just like bad lifestyle buildup over time. That's pretty easy to theoretically reverse with proper supplementation and reduction of oxidative stress and all these other inflammatory markers. For someone like you, I mean, it's really about what job does the gallbladder do? where can I find some of that maybe in supplementation? How can I optimize my current situation? I mean, I've seen a lot of writing online from people that have had Crohn's. I've seen a lot of writing from people online that have had these other like inflammatory conditions. And universally, when they get high dose antioxidants in the equation, the inflammation goes down, they have a better experience. So I would just say for you, number one thing to try off the bat, of course, this is just speculation, not medical advice, would be trying just a really intense antioxidant. You know, like taking something for your gut specifically. And there are things that are active at different portions of the body. I mean, are you someone that uses melatonin?
No, I'm not. The only thing I take is ultramethylene blue, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I mean, mitochondrial optimization, oxidative stress, that's helping right there. I would say you should try to find something, an ingredient that has kind of a local action or a metabolic action. The reason why I bring up melatonin and its metabolites are all antioxidants, and it's protective against bladder and rectal cancer because it sits in there all night. Does that make sense? So you're able to find things locally.
I've heard some questionable stuff about melatonin though, prolonged melatonin use.
Yeah, that's hokey pokey, and I've heard this from everyone. This is like a big talking point. They have 300 milligram anal suppositories for people with Parkinson's that they prescribe them for melatonin for lifelong use. Like it's not a I understand people worried about suppression of like a natural sleep rhythm or whatnot, but there's a lot of argument as to being on melatonin permanently for some of these like long-term preventative things. But it's very interesting for sure. I mean, what do you take? You just take the methylene blue? Have you taken anything in the past?
Yep. No, I mean, I take methylene blue, and that is about it.
You should look into our multi-mineral. It's really good. Give you a special caller discount for it.
What is this?
The male mineral blend that we went over on the show. I don't know if you were here or not.
Okay. Yeah, I was here. Hold on, I'm gonna go to this website then.
Yeah, we're just pulling it up here.
No, you're good. You're good.
We're gonna pull it up here.
Yeah, and here, go to the elemental drive.
It's this guy here.
Yeah, this is like, dude, I've made probably 10 supplement formulas. I've worked on a dozen of them, maybe more. This is the one that I'm the most proud of. If you look at this, I have a stripped down version of this that's inside of the power plant formula that I gave to the Bigley people and had them made.
Yeah, you said this is better than
this
power
is a
plant.
superior version of that. Yeah, and I don't want to say superior to power plant, as in power plant's got cordyceps in it and it's got some other stuff in it that has other effects. But as far as a multi-mineral goes, especially for men, you're not going to find a better thing than this. I mean, our projection showed possible increases of free testosterone up to like 25%. Like you're not going to find anything better than that.
Are you guys considering making this in pill format as well?
Yeah, it is in pill format. They're capsules.
Oh, is
and
it?
they're in
Okay,
pouches.
I saw the bag, but I didn't. Oh, yeah, I see now.
Yeah, they're all capsules.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, zinc, copper, vitamin D3.
And you can see through the pill. You can see that it's an actual, like, but you can see the compound in there.
It's made up in Dallas too. It's made locally here in Texas.
It's not made in India like Tucker Carlson's lip pillows.
No, it is not. No,
America, baby.
No, it is not.
America.
Dude, hey. Yeah, I have to ask, man, because even the Christmas cookies are made in India now, dude. Nothing.
Well, look, now that you said that, I'm going to send you some, and you better eat them, or else.
No, the only, we have to be transparent. The only ingredient that comes from India is the ashwagandha,
but that's where you get it.
Yeah,
from.
that's where the plant is grown anyways.
You buy ginseng from China. You do these things.
Yeah,
it's just the country of origin for that product.
We don't grow ashwagandha here in the United States. It's impossible to do that. The environment is not curated for that, so you have to get it specifically from these regions, but it's all made here specifically. So
but hey, if you have that bias, if you feel that way, you can buy the male mineral, and that's not no relation to India. But hey, I don't hate India. Buy the ashwagandha. So
that debate must have got him.
Yeah, you know, like I said, if I'm not, as long as I live, I'm never going to willingly put a product from India into my body. That's just like asking for tapeworms. I'm good.
Damn,
I'm good on that.
That is very hot take, huh?
Go ahead.
I said very hot take, huh?
Is it? I think that's lukewarm, bro. Nobody wants to consume I get it, like ashwagandha. I mean, if that's the only place it grows, that's one thing.
Natural stuff.
Like,
look, the region doesn't matter that much, man.
Right. Well,
I see where you're going.
So here's a distinction, right? There are two regions in Indonesia where Tongkat Ali grows, and there's one version of it that grows in like the northern region, and there's one version of it that grows in the southern region, and there are fluctuating prices based on what's going on in that area of the world at the time. Like we source these herbs from where they come from. So like that's the
biggest thing.
Like that's the thing, and that's what having like a real original formula is. It's like you're just getting what is the highest quality.
It's like silicon chips. It's like the chips. You can only get them really from Taiwan because all of that manufacturing is specifically there. We can't just go and make it here in America and have
but I understand your point. I take your point. What is your biggest, just as a consumer, what is your biggest hurdle to taking a new supplement? What do you think about, and just why have you not considered, like, obviously methylene blue is incredible. You chose that because it works and it works really well, and you saw people give it rave reviews. But like, have you ever gone to the grocery store? Have you ever picked up a supplement bottle? Have you ever looked at one and been like, yeah, I might buy this?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I just, my goal is, grocery stores are one of the most annoying places on planet Earth.
True.
Especially with like the kids screaming and acting crazy and everybody acting sketchy. So I just try to, not go. And if I do, just go and make it quick. I'll plug this. I don't know if you're making a supplement of this. Bodies, dude. Bodies. When I bought it, I guess probably 2019, and I really liked Bodies because I was taking that in the official combo back then, and man, it was great.
Dude, I'm sorry, New Groper. I love you. You're my favorite caller. I'm about to have to stick that physical knife through your heart. I'm sorry. Are you ready? I apologize.
Yeah, they're going away.
No, the turmeric in Bodies probably came from India. So you have consumed an Indian product.
No,
I'm sorry.
Turmeric's literally from a lot of the times.
Listen, we're gonna. Hey, I'm at the lodge a complaint with the InfoWars.
You got any Apple?
For $1 billion. I think you can win if you sue them.
You got any Apple products?
Apple products? Yes.
Yeah, there's a good chance that some of that comes from India, buddy.
Look, here's the thing. We're just poking fun. We're just playing around. New Groper, like I'm not trying to sell you too hard on this thing. I just want to introduce these products to people. Just real quick, we'll end on this. We'll just get a little political here. What's on your mind today? What'd you see in the news? What's driving you crazy? You're always a fun caller. What's on your mind?
Like my thing is, and I'm gonna go here. We're gonna be really spicy. I'm tired of the women in the politics space.
MTG got you crazy.
Are you mad at MTG for retiring?
No,
I saw you.
Never, this is gonna sound bad, but she's a woman, so I expected it.
Oh my god!
So I mean, look, I'll just let me pose this question real quick. Name one politician in the female caucus that isn't utterly insane and filled with drama
AOC,
and everything else.
Of course.
I can't. Who?
He said AOC.
AOC. No, there are some. No, there are some. They just may not be mainstream. I'll say that.
I think there's not a congressman or a senator aside from Massey maybe that's worth a single damn. I mean, I don't know if you saw the first hour of the show where we were talking about this.
Tulsi?
I mean, did you see my total coward? We'll get into that. Total flip flop. Deep stater. I don't like Tulsi Gabbard. Fuck. All right, I got off my train of thought. Shit. Oh man, you hit me with a bomb. Okay, New Groper. Did you see Zoran and Trump in the Oval Office?
Like, yeah, dude. Trump's been a Democrat since the 90s. It was all a scam.
I think it's beyond that.
We fell for it.
Yeah, it's a uniparty. Like it's so insane. Like, and they're up there just joking around, laughing at each other. Trump threatened to use National Guard on him. Trump saying, "No, I might put you in jail." Like, I'm not quoting him. That's just paraphrasing. Like, he was very, very anti-Mamdani, and Mamdani called him a fascist. But at the end of the day, they're all able to smile and meet together because they're in the club. And it outrages me so much because it's a show. It's a TV show.
It kind of reminds me of wrestling, with the exception of at least wrestling is entertaining after you've been drinking a good bit. It's literally just a work, dude. It's a work, and all of these people are the same. And that Texas politician lady that they're trying to shove on you guys.
Real quick.
That immigrant lady.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, like we have failed so far as the conservative movement.
Wait, hold on.
When we're letting go ahead.
You're talking about the lady that like held a gun up to like the guy. Yeah. She like burned Quran, like super anti-Islam, but like over the top.
I don't think I saw it.
Would you go, New Group? Will you explain a little bit? Just give a little exposition because this is a great topic.
Yeah. So she's some kind of Mexican lady. She's an immigrant lady, I guess, from what I understand, and is yet another immigrant female who has entered into the political sphere. She's like, I'm super based. I hate Muslims. And granted, I'm not a fan of Muslims too, except for the possibility of Sharia law. Kind of like that idea. But you know, it's like essentially what she is she's a grifter, and it's so obvious. It's so obvious. She's just like MAGA based. It's like she's an NPC. And it's like how we as conservatives, like when our party is having to be led by immigrant women, like, bro, we're cooked. Like, just pack it up. Pack it up, go on home.
Yeah. No, I think they're all children, man. Like they're literally, the politicians are they're the most like malformed little like bubble boy people that have ever existed on this planet. And like we talked about it, like even MTG, she comes in, she's worth $700K. She leaves, she's worth $40 million. She has like a 35.
You saw her retirement date and her pension date, right?
Yeah. No, of course they coincide. Of course.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
She retired when she
her pension.
Oh shit! She was waiting to get out, huh?
Right.
That's why she didn't care. Oh my god, this is all making sense. This is why she didn't care about putting her shit on the line. She just wanted to get her last hurrah in.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and I don't even blame her because grifters gonna grift. You don't hate the player, hate the game.
True.
Right.
Very true.
But I blame her stupid constituents. Like you retards, you backwoods retards. Like you voted for this crazy quote unquote MAGA lady, and it was clearly a grift with anybody who has an IQ above 85. Knows like she pretended Nick Fuentes didn't exist, but then had Groypers on her staff, and then did all that crap. It's like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's all make believe, man. We are ruled by this uniparty, and it's going to collapse. And when it does, it's going to be glorious. And like I said, I joke tongue in cheek about the Sharia law. About the only solace will be that women won't be allowed to be outside anymore, just because we have to make light of what's going to happen inevitably. I don't know. Did you guys check the mayor of Dearborn, Michigan? What he said?
No, what did he say?
To an American citizen?
What did he say?
He said, so this white guy got up and said this is a white country, which, talking about like heritage, like people in America who've been America, right? And the mayor looked at him and said, "You're not welcome in this city. I will throw a parade." He literally said, "I will throw a parade when you leave. You are Islamophobic and homophobic and just phobia."
Those two things can't go together. The Muslims, the gay, I don't know if that's allowed.
Muslims will say the Muslims will say what they need to say so they can take over.
Well, the thing is, it all goes back to that coalition that really started off where Obama started to try to get all the different minority groups that really didn't like each other, try to get them as a voting bloc against the white population. And that's really been the story of the past 20 years with our electorate. Prop 50 in California, gay marriage, it failed because black people voted against it. That's the reality. But the left comes and says, "Hey, you're all oppressed groups. We loop you into one thing, and then together we're strong." But in reality, it's all a grift.
Well, that's always been the Democrats' play. They always group the minorities.
The Muslim talking about homophobia and talking about that person being homophobic, that Muslim person knows that that's against his beliefs and against his religion, and that they're supposed to kill people like that. That's what it says in the book. That's what their hadiths say. That's their policy.
Yeah, that's why I don't like Sharia law and all those things.
But my point being with that, he knows that, but he's still willing to use kind of like the corporate HR language speech on the person to be like, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm a part of this power block. Get out of here. And I see that a lot on the right now, where it's like, if you deviate from MAGA, if you don't use the MAGA language of the winning and the golden age and all this, you're like a doomer, a black pillar.
Well,
I hate it.
Well, I hate to point it out. I'm going to point it out. It's not MAGA. It's MIGA.
It's MIGA.
It's the Israel.
MIGA.
They're Israeli.
MIGA. It's very fun to say. MIGA, please. like it's very fun to say. Very fun to say.
Wow, people are just creative, huh?
MIGA.
Wow.
Make Israel great again. He said it. Trump tweeted it out. Right, New Groper?
MIGA, please.
Yeah, no, dude. When he got elected, it said. Congratulations, Trump! Make Israel great again. It was a billboard,
right? But he tweeted it out. He tweeted it. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He tweeted it out himself.
He's such a cuck.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like to the big power interests, yeah, he is, 100%.
Oh, I have a question for you, Groper.
Yeah, what's up?
So did you see? Okay, so did you see that video of the parking lot situation where the guys were praying and then the guys came out there with bacon? I kind of already know what you're gonna say about this, but I have to ask what your standpoint. Do you think they went too far with that?
I think that we live in such a satirical world at this point that it's just kind of like it's moot. Like nothing is serious. It's like,
yeah, I agree.
I think there is I think they're like, obviously, I'm not like a hate all black person or guy, right? Like I'm clearly not. If I was, I wouldn't call in and engage with the show. Clearly. But at the same time, it's like, like I'm really, the only thing that's very interesting about this movement is the idea of reclaiming free speech. Mm-hmm. Like saying what you want to say. And I would just say this: like people, like when they hear certain words, they crash out, and people say them so that they're trolling when they say it. Like that guy in that video.
Where's the line between free speech and harassment, though?
Well, I mean, you can't. I'm not going to answer for New Groper, but
obviously, I mean, if in the video they started it.
Yeah,
he looked over there because they were acting like hoodlums. I mean, blaring music in the fire lane is not proper behavior, I would say.
Yeah, and this raises the point. They got felony charges, the people with the bacon, because it's illegal to interrupt a religious service. Now, if you go pray with a circle of people on the concrete, if you go pray with a circle of people and then people are like, hey, like we're doing stuff here, you got to leave, or if people are like mocking you or whatever, if people are mocking you and interrupting your service by I don't know, burning a Bible or whatever while you're all there with your people,
all the time,
I can't. This is going to go to a Supreme Court of some state or something, or some appeals court. Like I think we'll see this. It's very interesting precedent wise. I'm interested to see what happens, but it's so childish to me. I mean, look, the people, they're here. You're not God Emperor of the United States. You can't get them off the street. They're Muslims. They're praying. It's whatever. You hate them. It's whatever. Why must we always fight about the people that? The Muslims aren't actively making your life worse right there on the street. The people making your life actively worse, the people in government that lied to you in order to get you vote for.
I'm glad you
so
said
like
that.
why do we even care about like it blows up on social media and it's this huge thing because the Muslim and we eat bacon and it's funny and they're like, we're Muslim and they're bullying us by eating bacon. It's wrong. Like it's so stupid that we're even at a level where we fight with each other about these things.
People behead Christians in Africa. Like you wiped out the entire Christian population from the continent of Africa. I don't want to don't lecture me about, oh, you feel offended. Like, bro, you got they murder people. And that's why
I don't think they should have gotten charged. I agree with you on that perspective. My thing is, look, the people that are praying, like that's their right. This country was founded on religious freedom. They get to do that. I understand your point. I don't like Islam. I do not like it.
Well,
I've read the book. It's a blueprint for conquest.
And that is
what it is.
And that is the part. You know how you said not all Jewish people are from Israel, right?
Right.
It's like not all Muslims.
I disagree.
No, I'm saying what I was gonna go specifically was not to defend Muslims because I really don't think you should be dating 13-year-olds and doing all that type of shit. all I am saying is, just like I give the argument for gay people, where like, if you're not really doing anything that's like disrupting me, go pray and do whatever you got to do. If you're like, I see people at my job do that all the time. They're in the shower and they get the mat out. I'm not going to go up to this dude and be like, piggy, piggy, piggy. That's fucked.
And I believe that's wrong because it's disrespectful. And I don't want to treat people that way in general. But it is literally, it's a meme culture of, all right, if there were no cameras and there were no cell phones, do they go do that? Absolutely not. It's for the fucking internet. Like everything is for the fucking
everything
internet.
Is a troll.
Yeah,
everything is, and that's why I don't get mad. Like you know, going back to that video, like I laughed hysterically at it, not for any like ideological alliances per se, but the fact of it's just like it's blatant trolling and people are you've got to realize that if people are trolling you, you don't crash out because that fuels the fire.
Yeah, but like,
you know, and it was like
it's a public space.
But my thing is like, just like I say, people have TikTok brain and they watch these mindless people doing like TikTok dances and shit. Like, I'm so tired of my X feed just being like, I mean, there's satire and then there's just straight up like disrespect and just like trying to rage bait and being racist at certain points. Like, look, like there's a fine line that everybody has internally. Like, there's some shit that like people would never say to my face, but they would do it on the internet because there's the anonymity of being able to say that.
It's the nature of the beast.
No, and here's the thing. I agree with the old, like how, you know, it used to be fun. Like, I think there's satire. I'm joke around. Like, me and my friends make like semi-racist jokes at certain points to each other, like in a playful way where like my friend is, he's Muslim and like I'm black, so he'll make a black joke and then I'll throw like an Arab joke back at him, but like that's funny. Then there's the real trolls who specifically just want to incite that level of just like I see it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it comes from people not understanding that we're human beings anymore, and people just think that they kind of exist and they exist on the phone, and that is what it is. I think that these people haven't had a lot of normal interaction, and that's why
some people need to get punched in the face though sometimes.
Well,
where, like
that's illegal. I don't believe that.
No, but I'm saying punched in the face to the extent of like, look, fuck around, find out. Like, you do that to me.
You sound like Trump.
But I'm just saying, like, you're gonna come up to me, make a joke.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'd say this. I mean, if we're like the thing is free speech, and this is kind of an aspect for it for me. If free speech, if there are groups of people who can dictate, like, oh, if I say this, I'm racist. If I say this, I'm anti-Semitic. And anything, like, you know, it's overused, that all of that, you know, it doesn't mean anything anymore,
right? Because
it's been watered down to the point. And two, you know, like, words are mean. Yeah, words are mean. People are mean. That's just human nature. But like, our right to free speech, like when you've got people, like I was watching a little clip of like the clavicular guy talking about saying N-word, and this lady was like, you can't say that. And he was like, really? Why not? He's like, because I said so. And then he said, really? And then he said it again. And everybody started laughing at her. He's like, who said that I can't say this? And she was like, well, all the black people. And it's like, you know, like I've been called things like I've been called things like a honky and a cracker and stuff. And I thought it was funny. Like, I just laughed it off.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, you know, but it's this double standard in free speech, and it's happening. It's a leftist ideology that's infiltrated the right as well now, because now
right
it's like, hey, if you say anything about Israel, you're an anti-Semite.
No, yeah, and I agree with you on the anti-Semite part and shit like that. Only thing is like, again, I say there's a borderline between making jokes and then genuinely just trying to harass people to the point where it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean,
like that video. Yeah. He was definitely provoking them, and it was pretty. He did a good job of provoking them. They were very provoked.
But when you give these guys a platform without punishing them, then other people just think it's hilarious, and you can follow suit. So they're trying to make an example out of somebody like that.
I mean, you can't make. Here's the thing: they're on a public fucking street, and like if they went into a building or something and they did this, it would be a completely different story, and I would be on the people's side. They were praying in a fucking street.
Yeah, well, they chased him in.
Yeah.
I mean, like to pose this question though.
What?
There like, and this is a realist thing. Like I think that people are being radicalized live,
right,
due to a lack of accountability in every which way. Because it's like, hey, like everybody talks about that video, right? And then, oh, he said the N-word. Okay, cool. But like, let's not talk about like the completely illegal behavior that they were doing. And nobody ever says, hey, well, why did they start hollering at him the second he happened to look in their direction? People are just tired of being intimidated. And it's like they're using these things to like try to take back like power and freedom for themselves because people have been suppressed. And
I agree. Like, no, and that's that political history of that time period. Tim, you may not be too familiar with it. Between 2015 and 2020, you were not allowed to speak. Basically,
no, I know, but
you're not allowed.
Here's
to say
the thing:
so now people can say what they want. They want to keep being able to say what they want.
Dude, people, I literally was the only black kid in my entire grade. White kids are gonna fucking say the N-word whether I'm in the room or whether I'm not in the room. I don't. Here's the thing: you say it in the song, I don't really give a fuck. What I'm saying here is like the radicalizing and the polarization behind some of these people and the trolls on the online is the only thing, is because at some points, some things gain enough traction to where they actually become detrimental.
Well,
for society.
Explain what detrimental for society means? Does that mean people getting hurt? Does that mean people getting insulted?
I mean like to the point where like, okay, I know you guys are never going to agree with me on the H-1B visa situation, okay? But X is an echo chamber of just like anti-Indians at this point. It's clear as day. Like Nukoifer doesn't want to buy Indian products, totally fine. But here's the thing: when you get enough people that make enough noise, and then you've got like politicians that like are also on X, and then they're like, you get the MTGs that are like, okay, imagine there's a real movement where they completely disassemble the H-1B situation. You're gonna celebrate, but there's real ramifications that will potentially create a ripple effect that we're not prepared for. Just knee-jerk reactions from things that just go on too long. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that's a real fuck around, find out situation, and there's a certain level of like trolling that like, okay, fine, do whatever you want.
Very fun evening, very engaging conversation. New Groiper, I'm sure you have a lot more to say, and we'll talk about it on the next show. You're always welcome to call in. We appreciate you being here with us tonight. We're coming up to 3 hours. I'm a little washed. We're going to go ahead and end it. Thank you for being here with us, New Groiper. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, guys. All right. Hey, I'm going to check out this stuff. I'm probably going to get me some of this.
Yeah, please do. Do your research on it. Please do. Thank you.
Yeah. Like I said, I think for me, it's going to be the Elemental Drive.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's what it's
the one I'll be taking.
100%. We're all going to be taking it. We're all going to be on that Elemental Drive. Thank you for being here with us tonight, New Groiper. And please follow New Groiper on X.
Hey, no problem, guys. It's always fun. We'll see you guys.
Dude, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. All right. Well, fun show tonight, informative show. What we're going to do is we're going to clip some of the informative parts of this show where I talk about the supplements. We're going to put those clips out. I'm going to start doing a solo show purely focused on supplements, also under the gray area name. But look, there's a lot of my new show I want to get into. I know some people enjoy it. I know some people don't. My point is I want to get the information out there. I want to start clipping the videos so I can say, hey, I've talked about this metabolic system. I've talked about this ingredient. You can go find the information in XYZ video. So I'm going to put out a lot more of that for you next, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, because we're coming up on the holidays. Tim and me will be doing a deep dive on just how fat these grifters have gotten.
Yeah, like we just happened to start talking about how much people are inside trading. He didn't know MTG made a bunch of money in Lockheed. I didn't know until I started researching into some of these people, but I was like, you know what? We're going to make a segment about this at this point because
it's too much.
It's too much. And it's right. It's right and left, guys.
I want to see the Pelosi multiplier. I want to see how broke she was when she got
Pelosi's net worth is like 250 million or something.
I know, but what was it when she first?
What I'll do is I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find the top 10 and then we'll do like the top 10 showing like what their net worths were before and who made the most afterwards, and we'll just see what that return on investment of being a congressman is like.
Oh, hardest job in the world. Well, thank you guys for being here with us tonight. Incredible deep dives coming, incredible deep dive today, clips, news, all of it. Follow Truism Tim on X. Please do it. He's a great guy, puts out great clips and information. Please follow or subscribe to Gray Area Talks on YouTube and Rumble, and like retweet and support the show. And hey, if you're gonna do anything, if you want to bless us a little bit, you can go to primalcore.com or go primalcore.com, and you can check out the ashwagandha product we talked about or the elemental drive product we talked about. And if you look at the discounts after you get through here, it's about 25-30% off.
And some people have asked me in the past, like, how can they support the show? Like, people were asking to buy
this is how
gear
you
and stuff. I was like, look, I don't want you guys to buy me like a new Elgato system and stuff. I was like, look, the small things like this to support the show, because this will all be going back into the show.
And it supports you too. And that's the thing that we have to touch on here. And we talked about it again and again and again. I'm gonna hit on it again. These products support you, they support your vitality, they support your health. So like, it's a no-brainer. It's, my dad coined the term, and I believe in it. It's the 360 win. We win by getting funding for our operation.
Somebody wrote it at the same time.
360 win. And then you get the win of having the highest quality product with the best effect possible. And that's what we do here on the Gray Area. Please follow and subscribe. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Tim Tompkins, Rex.
You guys can go and find the products are in our X bios now, as well as the highlight. So you guys can go ahead and look at those as well on the X accounts. Rex, mine, and the Gray Area all now have that as well for you guys to check out.
Yeah, so just visit the profile, guys.
Visit the profile.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And good luck and good night.
Thank you.
Modern life has left us out of balance. Long ago it was once said, certain remedies could grant a man the vitality of a horse. For over 6,000 years, these natural remedies have been harvested and tested by generations. Why create complex formulas when nature's roots are still in our hands? Try Primal Core. Ancient remedies for modern life.